Welcome in, everybody.
Hi.
See if we can get some magic for you here.
I think it's on miracles. It looks like there's white cards in that Forceful. And there's like a merchant scroll, which I think is Alliance is important. That's probably Austin or his brother.
We'll see when we see a deck, huh?
By the hands.
Alright.
Hello.
Let's go live here. How about that? Maybe? We'll get everything up. We're kind of last minute jumping into some magic here. Why do we have so much glare again? I thought we got rid of the glare. Yeah, yeah. Let's turn the overheads off. See, well, if you can. Yep. We don't want glare, right, guys? Why isn't this? Save. There we go. It's even a go live notification. Oh my goodness. We get to watch some Legacy. It's Tuesday night. Ooh, that's a little bit better.
You guys can see stuff now.
Yeah, not that card right there. I'll have to fix it later.
That's just the first card he put down. I was like, I can't tell what anything is.
It is Austin's
I'll
brothers.
fix it later.
2 jokes. You got 2 jokes?
Nope, not yet.
No. What about puns? 2 puns?
Sure, we can do some puns.
Something.
Well, you can talk about what they're actually doing while I get all this going here. There we go.
Should we just call him Austin's brother the entire time?
Yeah.
Okay, Austin's brother.
Austin's brother on the left.
So he was on the draw, right? Because turn 1, discard Phantasmagorian. And Corey's on 2 lands.
He's playing Manaless?
Yeah, that's Phantasmagorian is Manaless. What is in his hand?
You're late. I came for 2 jokes. Are both of the jokes chains? Yes. Yes, those are the only jokes I have today, and you already, the people that are here already heard them.
2 chains. With a Z? He didn't put the Z in because he's committed.
We were doing, it was Chains of Mephistopheles Squee.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
So he activates Phantasmagorian.
Fox came up with that one.
With Dinkweed and Dredge. That's Dinkweed, maybe? Yes. And then it's Tim and Remy.
Yeah. Remy's playing.
Blue-black artifact things because he likes
what's
the Abyss.
Brothers War thing called?
The Brothers
Antiquities War?
Antiquities War. Yep. Blue-black Antiquities War.
And Tim is playing something.
Reanimator.
Oh.
Probably playing his Grixis Reanimator blue. Or he finally trimmed to just blue-black to play like the hyper-efficient, but knowing Tim probably is playing his Funnels.
Yeah. We'll jump over to those guys in a little bit. Looks like there's a Chalice on one. Well, Corey gets to watch, and we get to watch Austin's brother, Dredge.
Does Corey have any real obviously he has Terminus, right? So you can set up that, and he can put a lot of these on the bottom. And Austin has no way to shuffle his deck. He's playing Dread now.
Yeah. Yep.
So other than dredging his full deck,
Bridge count is at least 2.
Bridge count 2, Cabal count 3, Enterprise Amalgam, which will be coming back off the delayed trigger. Unless I think he should be getting it.
We get a reprint of Bridge from Below.
That new Golgari grateful.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Except it just got rebanned, but right.
Dig Through Time's in it. So
at rare. Why not? They could have put it at common, and people would have been like,
sure.
"Well, it's a screwy format, but nobody cares."
There's no fetch lands. The delve is going to be so slow. Someone could get 5 digs, and they're not going to be able to play them all.
Yeah.
Who's going to be playing 8 mana Like
so
that.
it really could be an uncommon, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that
Yeah,
bad. Well,
absolutely.
we still have 4 lands that haven't, or 5 lands that haven't been,
Yeah.
but they're not going to be fetch lands.
Ban death and taxes from all formats. That seems.
Bridge from Below is not your
Salty.
favorite Magic card. You're a liar.
Hi, I play mid-range and aggressive blue decks. Bridge is my favorite card.
I'm good at beating it when it's in my opponent's deck. It's my favorite card.
He just likes to bolt his own creatures to exile them. He's just trolling.
Z Nudes would never troll. That's not a thing he does.
He's also never salty. He's never rage sold once.
We gotta like get Zach here in the picture, hanging out down. You could like raise your chair up. Maybe that would help.
I think I'm just short.
It's just hanging out down low to the ground. We're slow to start here today.
We didn't think it was gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to play and that
Borrow a
would've
deck.
been awkward.
I guess we know what Brian's on, so you could have played Food Chain. You've
Yeah.
been the new ambassador for Food Chain.
No, I would have failed miserably with the deck and been fired as the ambassador if it was the case.
You're implying that being an ambassador means you're quality at your job.
That's true.
So, Cabal Count is the third one is being flashed back, and he's just. It's weird that he goes. I guess he's getting a bunch of zombies. Is his idea?
Well, you don't give zombies when it's a token, right?
Yeah,
So he's just picking apart cards at this point.
because he can't answer the top of his deck out of the Terminus. So I would think he would name Brainstorm to try to sit so he can't dig deeper, right? Because you got the Mentor. I don't know what that other card is.
Irrelevant. That's what that card's titled.
I love the time travel set. I used to think that and Tarmogoyf are so cool. Tarmogoyf's still cool. It'll push just as better.
Tarmogoyf is going to be great when it's like $30, and then that's where it should have been all along.
And like
right?
Timmy's will like love it, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a green creature that's efficient, big. I don't know. I think meta games shifting that aggressively. It's weird in a format where people are like, this is the deck I own, and it's the one I can play.
Yep. Let's pretend we know what time this round started. Let's pretend it started at
9 minutes ago.
okay. Seems very accurate.
What do you think Corey's thinking on? Like, what is he? Okay, how do I survive? Because he's at 15. There's 10 power in play.
Yeah, I guess it's just can he take a hit right
Yeah.
before setting up the terminus, or does he have to set it up right
dig.
now?
Or does he maybe have like snap or plow, like a plow? No, he doesn't have a plow. So he can have like a snap. He hasn't cast a brainstorm, so he can't ponder on his opponent's turn. I think he cast a portent, is what it was. They are pretty cool. Oh, did you watch any of the team constructed tournament?
Pretend it's that much time. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I kept tuning in and it'd be like standard.
Yeah,
And I'd be like, okay.
Well, and like the chat was always like, go to Legacy, and then like, no,
Yeah.
just no.
And then Sullivan would be like, he's wastelanding him and we don't even get to see Magic being played. Great.
Woo.
Like, yeah, that's because you tuned in twice.
Yeah. They were discussing the time spiral block and saying that it was actually really poorly received because they had like 28 mechanics, I think is what they said. So as like that's not lethal, it's one off of lethal, right? But he can,
Alright, there's a brainstorm. It
No
wasn't.
terminus.
It wasn't a terminus.
do you think he has
So
16?
we
Oh,
just
it
got one
was
in
the
there.
second card. It was the second card.
So this is still lethal though, right? Because Ikarid will go away and then he'll come back.
Yeah.
So he has to like.
He's got him to 1. So he has to
block
like
it.
terminus, snap block, or something. He only has 1 Ikarid, right?
And then we've got
Oh, no, there's
we've
another one,
got
I think.
prized amalgams that are coming in, right?
Yeah, but those will get terminused away. Unless, like, he tries to... Unless Austin, his brother, chooses to play around it.
What's Austin Brothers' name?
I don't know.
I should know.
I'm bad at names.
Sorry, Austin's brother. You get to be Austin's brother.
Terminus feels bad, man. Maybe that's where it deserves to be every once in a while, is the second card.
Yeah, doesn't feel bad. That's where Terminus deserves.
Feels bad for the Miracles player. You really want to feel bad for them. Thinking about his brainstorm. He has a sword, so he can make it so he's not at 1. So he can get rid of the Ikarid now. Go to 4. What does Force Day look like from 4? Yeah, this is a lot.
There it
So
is. Swords on the
Ichrid.
Ichrid.
That's going to be at 4.
And then there's still no way he comes back from this.
Is that card next to the double Golgari Grave Troll? Is that an Ichrid? Because Ichrid's side of the card looks all dark, right? He activated the Phantasmagorian during his upkeep. He returns 1 Prize Amalgam. It's a delayed trigger. Is that still... Will the Prize Amalgam still comes back on his opponent's end step? Because it saw the end step one, and it's the beginning of the end step trigger.
It should.
So he plays around that. So now he at least still has pressure outside of another Ichrid.
These matchups are dredgeful. That's what they are. That was my one joke, chat.
Okay.
That was it. That's all that you should get.
That's all you get. Just no more. You came for that. Sorry.
You're welcome to leave now.
10 minutes in. No, I think he it's a delayed one, right? So he gets this one on his opponent's end step, so he still has a threat. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. It's a May.
Can you guys hear us all right? Is the mic loud enough? We were messing around with it because everything changed.
So he has a mentor that has to jump because he cracks the fetch.
Yeah, you're right. There is another Ichrid.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he wouldn't get into this turn. Yep. But then he misses. Oh no. He misses the amalgam trigger. Now he has it on his turn.
There.
Oh, does he have a therapy left? Because his bridge count is up to 3, and he got the balustrade spy, so his deck could be in his yard. But I don't think he has another sacrifice outlet.
Because he picked apart Corey's hand.
Yeah, he just went for like those really aggressive 3 Cabal therapies. But that doesn't work too, because when he attacks, if he wants to make sure that the mentor doesn't stay in play, all those bridges will be gone.
Yeah. But he'd get zombies, right?
Yeah.
He'd get the one trigger.
Yeah, 1 out of them. Do you think he takes that?
Yeah. Corey's at 3.
I guess he has 4. I think his bridge count is at 4. Next to the shambling shell in between the nether shadow.
Isn't this a fun way to watch Magic, guys, where we just try to grasp what's in his graveyard? Oh, he doesn't attack. Okay. So Corey's got a mentor in play.
That's scary, right? Like there's a really real chance he like swords.
Yeah.
Cantrip, and then
it just has blockers forever.
Yeah. Like that. He has another mentor in his hand and maybe a brainstorm.
We actually get to watch Magic, maybe. That counterbalance is kind of. Yay!
Counterbalance is dead?
Counterbalance.
It's a bad card.
Doesn't do anything.
Take that. That's why we play Dredge.
That's why.
Okay, now he missed. Yeah, he definitely missed that one.
He brought this one in.
Yeah. This turn, but I think he could have brought it back on his opponent's end step.
Oh yeah.
Is he gonna play the counterbalance? He has a Force of Will. Oh no, it's a counter spell. He's just playing it for the prowess trigger. Yep.
There's just a few dead cards.
Just a few.
Yeah.
That counter spell will be really good though, because if he takes the greedy line of I want to flip my whole deck into my yard with the Dread Return Balustrade Spy, he's gonna sacrifice a bunch of board presence just for nothing.
And then you counted the Dread Return.
But he's just dead, right? Because both those creatures have haste. He only has 2 blockers.
Yeah. If you had 2 instants, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think so. He just chooses the right line of I'm not going to cast a spell. Attack.
And I don't think he has a cantrip to stack a Terminus somehow.
No.
This is Never Magic. We're watching Never Magic now. Drogotsyn says so.
The deck that is almost entirely air and plays 20 plus cantrips, and a deck that doesn't actually follow the basic rules of the game.
Doesn't care about counterbalance or really counterspell or
lands. Who needs them?
Most of your things.
I have a graveyard.
Back to basics main deck. Neat. There's an attack for lethal. And Corey picks up his card. All right. As our backup match, we have. I'll update this real quick.
Shuffle Cam.
Manalist 1.
Shuffle Cam.
Ready? We've got this. This is game 2 for these guys.
Spellful Strix Bridge. Spell Sky. In 1820. I don't know what that card is. I played in Mirrodin, and I got a reader. Must be red.
Chat, what is this card?
It has a Vidalkin thing on it.
Yeah, it does. Is it a Thirst for Knowledge?
No, because Thirst is like the head. It's
yeah,
the
but there's
Vidalkin head, right?
A couple printings of it, right?
No, it's not that. I don't think that is. And he tapped the Mox Opal for it, right? So it's a 1 mana spell.
Ooh, I don't know what it is.
There's aggressive finger tapping. If there's a Steel Sabotage, he could. It bounces an artifact. It counters or bounces. It's a vintage card.
It's not a creature, it's an enchantment, right? Because he's leaving it in play.
Oh.
What is it?
It's not Antiquities War.
No. That looks very different.
Well, yeah. It's...
I usually know these ones. I have no idea what that one is.
Who needs mana anyways? Yeah, who needs it?
Huh. Okay, well.
Force of Will's free. Daze is free. Surgical's free. Analyst.
You get to play with shadows that just kind of do their own thing. It's great fun. Here's a careful study from Tim.
Discarding Glare.
Underground Sea.
I thought it was just Glare.
Right, because that one spot is Glare. And all this spot over here, and all these cards, and
more Glare. And activates a Glare.
And their life totals change from something to something.
20 or 16. That's an ancient tomb, and I'm assuming he's tapped it twice for Spellskite and. Oh, sorry. There's a Thoughtcast?
No.
He's playing Affinity. Well,
yeah.
That name should
be
Infinity.
This is Thoughtcast.
Yeah, it should be Infinity. He is actually playing an Infinity card.
Yeah. I still want to know what this is.
Collective Brutality. Let's find out.
We decided that, somebody decided, HC Fox, that if you play Squee in Collective Brutality, then you have Collective Brutality Squee.
Oh, Brutalis Squee.
Yeah.
Did you see that a Food Chain Goblins list top-aided the competitive?
No!
Yeah, playing like 2 Squees. It's interesting to think
Nate tried to make it work.
The Squee Chain or just...
Yeah.
Takes the Force of Will. What's his hand? Bridge, Ballista. Do you think Tim has an answer to... He's playing Kolaghan's Command, right?
I still don't know what this card is, so how could he have an answer to it? Is it Words of War?
Check out the sponsor. Oh,
this card. Let's find out.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm going to start looking it up. Mirrodin Enchantment. That cost 1 blue.
Onslaught. So it can't be Onslaught.
Which?
Words of War is
no, yeah, Words of War is an Onslaught. That's Mirrodin.
Alright. How are we going to miss sets? I haven't used Scribe that much.
Yeah. Magic card close.
We're going to find out what this card is.
Because that is very important.
It's all that matters. Nothing else matters. It's all irrelevant.
Not the Baleful Strix, not the Chalice that's resolving on 2. He's chalicing on 2. Do you think that Kim only is playing like Animate Dead and Exodus? He activated it, so it has an activated ability where he discards an artifact and searches for an artifact. 1 blue has an activation cost of discard an artifact and search for something.
It's not actually in Mirrodin.
So Fifth Dawn or what's the other one? Darksteel. It's probably a Darksteel card. Hard Artifact Artificer's Intuition. Discard an artifact, search your library for an artifact. Yep, that's what it is. So he paid 2 mana for it.
Look!
Yeah.
Fifth Dawn!
We found it.
Guys,
Jorgensen found it.
We did it. No, it doesn't count.
Okay, we did it.
Yep.
You're not. You didn't help. Twitch chat.
Hey, there it is. Look at that thing. Perfect. Discard.
How many bullets do you think he's playing with that card? Like, he's playing a Crypt. I guess can he get Ballista with it and Chalice?
Yeah.
And Mox Opal. In some situations, I guess.
And if you ended up with something big, then you could get anything else, right? Does he have anything big? I don't think he
It's
does.
required to be one or less.
Oh, one or less. Oh, it's not
Hanger
one.
back.
One less. Okay.
Yeah. It's not birthing pod.
So this gets you Chalice, Crypt, and Ballista.
Do you think that's a superior Crypt to play, the dark one? Or do you think you could be playing a better art?
I like it's Antiquities, isn't it?
Oh, is it Antiquities?
Yeah.
I thought it was the dark.
Maybe it is.
It would make sense if it's Antiquities because he's playing an Antiquities war deck.
Do we have any high tide today? In fact, I don't think so.
No. That commander one's the best one. Let's just do languages in the commander print.
Oh.
These are the sets.
The dark. You were right.
The dark.
It's not a dark one. It's the dark.
Oh, not a dark.
I am so still not into this stream tonight. I'm still like
you're still booting.
I'm still
it's a process, right? You got one pun in. We're on a pun. There's a Baleful Strix in play, so
Look.
There's the Church of the Black Owl of things and other teams.
Yep. Whatever the thing that we always say. Yeah. There's a Tezzeret. So this Tezzeret's kind of interesting. The original.
The first Tezzeret. The unagentable Lost Tezzeret. Oh. Just not even on the list. He's just like, I'm so old.
Okay, so why is this interesting? Let's pull up old Tez here. Maybe. He gets to search for an artifact with convert mana cost X or less and put it on the battlefield, and then shuffle your library.
How does he beat 2 Crypts? If he has activate Tezzeret for 0, go get a second Crypt with a bridge in play. I guess he just activates Jace and kills him that way. But at some point he just is like, oh, my things are 5/5s. My land's a 5/5. My Mox Opal's a 5/5. My bridge is a 5/5. His Ballista would be a 6/6 though. Does this say artifacts you control?
Yeah.
Do you think Corey's having fun playing against the Dredge Menace?
Well, we're so super entertained that we're just jumping right back to it, aren't we? I'd much rather find out what happens with this match.
Yeah, that match isn't that great because it's like, can Corey set up Terminuses effectively?
Yeah.
Or Termini.
And this is game 2, so but I don't know who took game 1. We jumped in just a little after. They both had 3 lands in play, so it was hard to tell.
Who do you think took it? What's your side on?
Well, Reanimator probably has the matchup, but Remy plays these Crypts main. And with all of these search things, that's pretty strong, right?
Yeah.
Force of Will main and Tormund's
Chalice.
Crypts that you can go get 3 different ways.
Does Chalice on is he even playing Reanimator? Because he's playing Tropicals instead of... He doesn't have an answer to the Ensnaring Bridge. Because he used to be playing Grixis and playing K-Commands. So I guess he could have Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah.
If he's playing Assassin's Trophy, he's going to be a lot really unhappy that it's not an Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
Remy has a Force. Yep. But there's a Chalice one too.
That gets through Abrupt Decay, but not.
Yeah. I know Tim because I think he's probably playing Assassin's Trophy.
Just because it's new and fun and different. At which point you say, "You got me. Let's go to the next game."
And he's not even upping the Jace to try to kill him that way. Maybe he's hoping for the Crypt line. Like, my opponent will just keep tapping the Ancient Tomb. Not the Crypt, the Tomb line. This is not Reanimator.
It's fine. It's
really good.
It's a version of Reanimator.
Because remember where Grizzlebrand's so broken that we can just put Grizzlebrand and some number of reanimation spells in any deck and it's good enough.
Look, he's going to play something that costs 2. Oh, he tried.
He thought about it. Reconsidered. 2 mana.
Here we go.
Is it an Abrupt Decay?
There's no way this gets countered. Haha, I'm going to try to play this. Oh.
Tim's like, oh man, you remembered your trigger.
See, look, that was an animate dead, which makes this reanimator.
If you're gonna do the chalice check, I think you have to do it really confidently, right? Like you just like cast your thing. Okay, go to my graveyard.
Yeah, Remy's been playing chalice decks since like before there was a Chalice of the Void, so I
Since
think
before he moved to the U.S. Like he's just like, I'm the chalice master. I have an Abyss playmat. I play Chalice of the Void. Like, welcome to my Abyss.
how is the Ballista on one? I think the Ballista came down before the Chalice, but I wasn't paying attention.
Can he pay? He can't pay 3 for it, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying like he can't pay 3 mana for it.
No.
So it might need to be.
If he paid 2 for it, then it would have been countered.
Yeah. We were so involved in the match.
Right.
That
I was paying attention very much. He could have paid 4 for it and then removed a counter. I don't know. Sorry, True Nightmare.
True Nightmare Ballista on 2 makes sense because it costs 2 mana, but yeah, you worded it poorly.
I'll watch the next match much closer and have the answer.
Because your boot time will be done. It's like dial-up. It just takes a while.
We're in here almost ready to start streaming. We'll be bringing you round 1 here in a moment.
Round 1 incoming once the thing starts screaming at me.
It is curious. What does Tim in this weird like Sultai Jace Reanimator deck with Belflestrix, does he have an answer? Or does he not?
Didn't turn the Jace down to bounce the spell sky? Because it was at 3, right?
I think so.
He just like touched the die. Oh, there we go.
Remy will help him out.
He remembered the loyalty cost, but not his own Chalice trigger on Ballista.
What, did he put it out after the Chalice?
Yeah, he did, because
There's an Abrupt Decay.
he is playing a rookie. Watch the replay. Yeah, he cast it for 2 on his own Chalice. Too late now.
Whoops.
Yeah. There's multiple parties to blame.
Just touching Jace is enough. I just wave at Jace. Dude, help me out.
Yeah.
I don't even touch
16
him.
Terminuses, let's go.
Line him up.
Why not? This is a dreadful matchup.
Nope, it's not. It's not dreadful.
Won the last one.
We could peek, I guess, and find out.
Are they still playing?
They're still playing. Miracles versus Mentalist Dredge.
So there's no lands in play. A Jace. A Mentor with 3 monks. And 6 card.
I'll let you guys take a peek here. Look at this board state. This is just Magic as intended, right?
Garfield intent.
Yeah.
It's like all the people saying that's what vintage is. This is Miracles versus Dredge. Mentalist Dredge.
Cute. All right. We'll jump back to this interesting thing. It got interesting with the Abrupt Decay, right?
Yeah, but he still has the bridge to like
Right.
And is he on 0 cards, and that's why the Belflestrix isn't attacking? No, it's just.
I think there's at least 1 card in hand because he bounced the Spell Sky.
Oh, you're right.
But this Tormund script is just stopping anything Tim actually wants to do, right? He's got to like instant speed.
He's got to have
respond.
Yeah, he needs to have like triple shallow grave now that he Abrupt Decayed. But he's not playing Tin Fin, so there's no reason for the shallow grave, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my enemy's dead. And
here's
like,
one.
Oh, I still have a Tormund script. Exile your graveyard. So he's worked his way through 2 pieces of interaction. Activate.
Animate Dead doesn't get exiled, does it? It just goes to the graveyard.
Yeah, that should just be my graveyard.
Not that it matters. Hey, look! I have a Artificer's Intuition, so I can just go get another Chalice.
Let me discard the spell sky. He bounced that spell sky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gave him the card to go get a Chalice of the Void.
Do you think Tim has a force backed up for that spell for the Chalice?
Probably not.
Probably not.
That'd be too mean.
Yeah, he definitely had like double Animate Dead, Abrupt Decay, 2 cards. Yeah, it seems really difficult to have a force lined up.
Here's this Tezzeret that would be swinging for lethal, right? If he had enough cards in hand to attack through his bridge.
Oh, you can't do that. He zeroes the Tezzeret.
Goes against a crypt.
We're playing in this house, Tim. I have a Chalice on 2 and a Tormod's Crypt to play. This is how we are playing this game. I missed my own Chalice trigger, but we're gonna keep playing. Chalice on 2. Go.
Oh, I'm gonna shoot your Strix.
And now he gets to hit the Jace for 1, and he can trade the Walking Ballista for the Jace. Do you think you make that trade?
Sure, when you can just Tezzeret for another one.
Oh yeah, we'll die. Because we'll just come as a 0/0.
But you can Artificer's Intuition for another one.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
You also
He didn't. He didn't do it. He should. This is silly. Hey, I've got this Reanimator deck. Hey, I've got this deck that's gonna just completely wreck yours.
I have literal prison pieces in my deck. Like that's just it.
And ways to find them. Jace is brainstorming. I'm gonna assume that Remy got the first one, but
Yeah, that's a pretty. But actually, you know, I'm gonna oppose you on that because when it popped up, I think I saw a Grizzlebrand in play for some,
okay.
So there's
that could be if you got it fast enough. Then
yeah,
Remy
it's
just
like
wouldn't
turn
have a
1
chance.
Grizzlebrand or turn 2 Grizzlebrand.
Yeah.
And Remy's like, okay, well you gotta do your fun thing, and now I'm gonna play lands and I'm gonna play chalices.
Decks that make sure nobody wins are the best. He's gonna win eventually. It doesn't take much to. You get the black-blue Tezzeret out, and then you just ping to death, or you just draw a couple cards off of Tezzeret, and then the next turn, ultimate.
Maybe Remy's using this opportunity to have a conversation with him, see how his life's going. That's why he brings these decks. He just like wants to be friendly in between. So he makes these game states where it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not really relevant what he's doing. Like the comment that like nobody wins. It's like I feel like Remy really has already won this game.
Yep.
And Tim is just like, well, maybe I have this weird sequence of draws.
Yeah.
Because you get tunnel vision when you're like playing a match.
Maybe there's a thing I can do. Maybe I draw yet another Abrupt Decay and another Reanimate spell to trigger both, get rid of his Chalice and his Crypt, and then get another card in the graveyard and reanimate that.
And then I have to actually be able to attack with my creatures with the Ensnaring Bridge.
He'll just be able to hard cast a Grizzlebrand at that point, right? He's not that far away from it.
He's got 3 black sources. It's quad black 4.
Yeah, it's 8. Yeah.
So Remy's got some good matchups tonight, right? So he's playing a Reanimator deck round 1.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Manaless Dredge.
That probably feels good.
Main deck Tormod's Crypt.
And Ensnaring Bridge.
And Ensnaring Bridge. And I wonder if we're still calling him Austin's brother. I wonder if Austin's brother is playing that Flayer of the Haybound finish in his deck.
Ooh.
Or if it's just the old, because I think they've migrated away from that with the rise of surgical extraction being such like a 60% of the sideboards.
Yeah.
So he's probably just playing the Blinken Zealot.
Well, the Reanimator deck lost its Jace, so now it's actually a Reanimator deck and stands a chance.
Do you think they'll ever print like a 1 black return target planeswalker from the graveyard to play?
I don't think so. I think if they do, it'll cost like 5.
If they're gonna get rid of Masters and they start making sets exclusively targeted towards Eternal players,
yeah, that'd be cute.
And but I mean, I guess I was gonna segue that into that would make Modern complicated, but it's already complicated because there's Modern bordered cards that aren't legal, right? It's like Commander cards aren't legal, which doesn't make sense to like someone who's like, well, I'm gonna play Modern, and then they like show up with their deck that has Commander cards in it, like a fish.
And all of the stuff that they just are reprinting, like a Caracas that's in Modern frame.
Yeah.
Remy's down to 6 life.
So Tim is still on the Tomb line. That's a Chalice on 1, right?
It can't be.
Because that would be countered.
Yeah. You can stop him. Unless you put it on 4. Put it on 2.
That's why.
Okay.
Because he activated the Artificer's Intuition.
Romario, what did you know was going to happen?
Oh man, I think that was it. Judge.
Him trying to put a chalice on one. I think it's on 2.
I'm assuming it's on 2 since it's underneath the other one on 2. We didn't do any Halloween tournaments locally, did we? Because we find out the judge dressed up as Judge Dredd.
Oh, no.
He just like walks over to the table.
We didn't do that. We should have done that.
There's always Nick too, right? Did he ping him and then attack? Oh, because he has 1 card in hand.
And then put a counter on it to swing for 3 total. And then there's the untap. Which, this is how he got enough mana to do all of that last turn, right? I was trying to do the math there. Last turn, but Tez untaps 2 things.
Can you imagine playing a deck like this Tez Raider deck, like a competitive event where you have to announce all of your abilities, where you feel like you're like required to announce all your activations and stuff? I'm going to activate my Walking Ballista, go to combat, declare attacks. I will activate my Walking Ballista, make it a 2/2. Take 2.
I think it's faster to just draw cards with Tez. Oh no, it puts it directly on the battlefield. Never mind. Yeah. So he doesn't have a draw avenue right now.
Yeah, to like fill his hand back up for the +5/+5 lethal you.
Yeah,
he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 artifacts in play. Casual 40.
Ooh, is Tim gonna hardcast a Grizzlebrand next turn?
He really even has one in his hand. I guess he's Calper Study, Pondered, Brainstorm with Jason. I mean, he's gonna take 3 this turn from that Walking Ballista trick. Oh no, he's 2 cards in hand. Oh,
whoa! Look at this.
4.
Each turn increases by 1.
Oh, is that? No, that's an Abyss. And a Force as well.
Yeah, just keep Force of it up.
I think you just scoop this one up.
It's gonna go find something else. I want a.
Oh, that's good.
I don't think he's got another Chrono Script. I think he's got 3.
I bet you he has an extra one on the board. No, he hasn't found anything yet. He's digging because he doesn't know what else to get. Because he already activated the 0. Yeah.
Well, he does have another one.
Okay. Okay, Tim. Beat double
right.
chalice.
If Tim gets a engineered explosives, he wins.
Yep.
Good. Isn't it? And EE on 0?
I mean, that's a good 4 for 1. But he still has to beat the bridge.
He'd start getting closer to winning.
Like he is, because Tim even cracked the fetch and looked through his deck and was like,
"Yeah."
I think he was like, "Do I have anything?"
Yeah. This is entertaining magic right here, everybody. Chat is enthralled. No one has left. They're on the edge of their seats.
I don't know how you cannot be at the edge of your seat with this. There's double chalice, missed triggers.
At any moment, somebody could get disqualified.
And someone could miss a trigger at a casual weekday event.
And people would go, yep,
yeah,
I've done that.
Yeah, the judge would be like,
back it up to
don't.
Whenever.
If you told me that during a game it was too late to fix, I just have target itself until it dies. Have it target itself? What would target?
Like you just kill the Walking Ballista, you'd sacrifice it?
Oh, yeah, I see. You're like, well, okay, well, I'll make this board state.
True Nightmare is honorable. Or at least he says he is.
He claims to be on the internet, which is the most trusted platform in the world.
It's fact.
Factual information.
Yep, there's our source right there.
Sourced on PCG Legacy Tuesday night, November the 20th, 2018.
The chat says that's what he would do. Till it dies. With an apostrophe
he
and everything.
Shouldn't have.
Because it should have gotten chalice. Yeah. The ballista's going to win that shouldn't even exist.
I mean,
he could have Artificer's Intuition for another one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got some 5. No.
You know, down for 4, right? So he's going to get not 2. The Church of the Black. That's going to win the game now. Just the draw card.
And this one just comes into play. It doesn't try to go through a chalice.
Draw a card. Did you draw the card or you just pick it up? You just picked it up and put it back.
There. Now he's drawn the card. No, it's not being cast. It's being Tezzeretted into play.
He Tezzeret activated ability of -2. Searched his library.
Nice try, chat. You almost got us.
You almost caught a miss trigger.
Yeah.
At the 20th minute of the stream.
They're keeping them honest. That's what chat's for. That's what they do.
Almost.
Yep. You're right. It can't be cast, and it wasn't.
He drew another Belfast Strix.
That one can't be cast, but it can be intuitioned.
Double counted. Oh.
You can't double stamp a triple stamp. Ooh, here we go. Abrupt decay on the thing that you don't want to. Okay.
The ballista. Okay. We have a fixed board state. Pins down the card.
Yep. That ballista never existed. It never actually impacted the game whatsoever.
It was abruptly decayed. How could it impact?
Yeah.
It decayed so abruptly.
I've never tried to make a joke about abrupt decay ever once. I've never said anything.
I have no idea the content of this stream. About how quickly things decay.
It's got split second.
How would it be any better with split second?
Sure.
I guess
because then he couldn't have done that.
Token 4. Yeah. Well, he shouldn't have been able to have done
that. Because it shouldn't have existed.
No, Bryce never made any joke about anything either.
This is a hypothetical stream where we're just hypothesizing what would have happened had Remy had a walking ballista that got through a chalice of the void.
Liliana, the last hope.
I think that might be Tim's last hope for this game.
It might be.
Yep. Kills the Strix.
But Tim's just dead next turn, right? Because Remy has been, I'm just going to draw cards so I can attack with my ballista and do this trick. But now he's like going to take 40.
I drew 5.
He's like holding his hand up. He's like very deliberately.
I have 5
this is
cards
my hand. 5 cards. Take 20.
That Artificer's Intuition does not attack.
He's not putting his Mox Opal on his 2 artifact lands. Does Tim have a stifle? Worst deck I've ever seen. It's a value package. It's like the
That's a great comment.
It's a value package.
No, the word is
yeah. This would be the worst.
It's a reanimator mid-range Soul Tide. It's Bug Reanimator Jace with Belfast Strix. That was fun, right? Everybody had fun. Everybody had a good time. Are we 1-1? Do we get to see that again?
Tim had the fun. I don't think Tim had fun.
Everybody but Tim had a great time watching that.
Unless the conversation I was referencing earlier was good conversation. I'll sacrifice the fun of this game for a quality conversation.
That can go away. We don't need to see that anymore. I want to see an Abyss stop a Reanimator player from getting to play Magic.
A 4-mana enchantment, destroying like a Grizzlebrand.
Yeah. Okay, I'll draw a whole one. Nope, you lose.
I think this is the matchup that could happen. Because he's not playing like Reanimator. He's playing Reanimator mid-range with Jace.
Okay, are you ready for the Jace joke of the day?
Okay, well, that's our second joke.
Yep.
Qualified. Approved stream.
Let's see. Captain QC knows this one.
Okay.
How does the joke go?
Is that part of the joke?
Jace likes to travel.
Yeah,
right.
He's a planeswalker.
And he travels by plane, right? But he doesn't like seatbelts because he likes to move about the cabin. Yeah, because he's a planeswalker.
I don't know if that one deserves
Hey, it was good at 2 in the morning, all right?
The punchline was in the middle of the joke. It wasn't even at the end. It was a middle of the joke punchline.
That's how all of Bryce's jokes are.
Yeah.
2 in the morning on Discord, the joke was hilarious.
I didn't see that one on 2
What was the punchline?
It was remembered, apparently. It was good enough to be remembered.
We were talking about how Jace likes to travel.
Yeah.
He likes to fly on planes, but he doesn't like to sit. He likes to move about the
Double
cabin.
Tezzeret, no abyss, force of will.
See, we got it. Ah!
So Remy's got good matchups tonight. He's playing against a mid-range reanimator. There's a manaless dredge. He has 3 Tormod's crits.
So there's like
confirmed.
two reanimators in the tournament.
Yeah.
2
Loosely definition.
And he has like
reanimator.
multiple ways to go search for his Tormod's
I'm playing
You are.
Okay, game one. I kept at hand 0 lands, but it has Unmasked Bristlebrand, Chancellor of the Annex, Reanimate.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
You need a land eventually, and you win.
I'm on the draw. Yeah. Top deck of Swamp and
Yeah, that sounds.
But you're only playing 16 lands, right?
So you wanted to play for like
Lotus Petals
yeah.
to 20.
So you have 21 mana sources.
you wanted to play 10 minutes of Magic tops per round, right?
Well, no, we actually played 45 minutes of Magic because I just finished my round. Game 3 was intense.
You should not get up and leave the table in between matches in between games.
I definitely should not.
Reanimator is the speed run of Legacy, right? Like the games. Like
Yeah.
I'm just
The
gonna
black
speed
red
run.
is.
Yeah. I will die, or
Are you playing black red?
I did.
All right, here we go. Island versus a banned land.
Wow, we're not even quality enough to receive a panic basket.
Stream shut itself off. Hey,
Is that explosives on 0?
how does it? I don't know why I did that.
I don't know.
Ah! What the? Oh, okay.
Oh, you just moused over here.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
Everything just went away.
I did it to myself.
I have no idea why it dropped that time. So yeah, that was just OBS deciding to take a break. That wasn't even the internet.
Did OBS get a union?
I think so.
You guys had to sit down
That
with
was
the
yep,
union rep?
that was their every half-hour break. 45 minutes in, time to take a break.
That's a guild pack card, right? It's the one where he names a card and searches like hands, exile. I don't remember. It's a Memoricide type.
What does this thing do?
I
It's
thought you
ego,
measure.
ego or something, something ego.
I like
Unmoored
to say
ego.
ego.
Unmoored.
Unmoored. He's only playing Unanime Dead. He's playing
Unmoored ego.
Choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, library, for that player shuffles it up. Why play this? What's the benefit? Because it can hit anything and it's 3 instead of 4. Because there's not another 3 mana one other than the one that is like non-artifact. They're all normally typically
they're all
4 mana
yeah.
at this.
And
this
so the
ability.
downside is that a player gets to draw
A card.
potentially 4 cards.
If they have 4 enemy deads in their hand.
Yeah.
This-
Don't you just go get? What do you get?
He named Anime Dead. And going through Tim's library looking, I didn't see another reanimation effect.
Oh,
So he's only playing 4 Anime Dead.
okay.
Which is an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Unless he's playing like bounce spells to like save the Anime Dead if someone goes to kill the creature. So you can just like redo it. But at that point you could play like, there's all those like complicated ones that like come into play and do it, and then if they go back, they like, if the creature leaves, the enchantment comes back, like Diabolic Intent, I think.
So Captain QC notices that you can hit basics with this.
You can hit basics?
So you can take 4 basic lands out of your opponent's deck.
Oh, it has the mandation of 4 cards. That would be fun.
Yeah, and then if you're playing
I'm gonna take your 4 islands.
back to
Sorry.
basics, and then yeah, you take their 4 basic lands.
You need 2 to hit each basic, right?
Yeah, you can't hit.
No, he
The
named
islands and
Anime
the
Dead
swamps.
and took all of the Anime Deads.
Look at this. This is a conglomeration of Magic cards that Remy is playing.
Remy or Tim?
Well, I don't know what Tim is playing. He's doing his own thing. But Remy's got like it's a pretty cool little affinity deck. Meets Tezzeret, both forms of Tezzeret, plus a cool. I like the enchantment thing.
Perfect. Yeah, that definitely showed that it was
Paragon
way
City
powerful.
Glare up in. I know. I tried to say something and.
Hey, don't blame us. Blame the look. That one is perfectly clear because it's a standard printing, and that one's an expedition. So blame Wizards, right? We're gonna blame them. Like we're Magic players.
Yeah, and the cards in the graveyard, they don't exist anymore.
They
so
don't matter. They're in
yeah.
the graveyard. Why would it come back from the graveyard?
We'll try and fix it in between matches and see if we can do anything.
Unmoored Ego exiles itself.
Nope.
No. So that's how you get all of Miracle's Islands is Unmoored Ego, snap Unmoored Ego.
Oh. And they draw like 15 cards, but you're winning. Yeah.
They can't cast spells. They have no islands. Cards in grave don't exist. Tell that to the Dredge player. They're not playing Dredge.
Yep.
I remember.
The Dredgeful match is over.
The Dredgeful he gets to make it. Brainstorm, trip, double fetch and play.
Goodness, we can almost see half of what's going on here.
There's some Belfostrix in the yard. That's all. I think they just called time in the round.
Oh, yes.
So this will probably be a draw because there's no way that Remy wins it. Well, if he's turn 1, 3, or he's going to be turn 0.
If he can get Antiquities War down right away.
Yeah, next turn, but then he has 1 artifact land? Or 2 artifact land?
Yeah, just 1. But he could Antiquities War, play a 0 mana artifact, Antiquities War, 0 mana artifact, a swing for 15.
Yeah.
And he's got a Chalice.
He's going to force. He has both Tezzerets, Agent of Bolas and the Seeker. Pitch the 4 5 mana 1. Wait, Agent of Bolas, how much loyalty does it cost to activate for the drain times 3 artifacts? Could be maybe. And also Jorgensen, I think a lot of people like to tell Dredge players the cards in their graveyard don't exist, and that's why Leyline of the Void is because it doesn't.
Alright. Here's a
4.
Tez. This isn't what he wants to do. I don't think this is going to do it.
Turn.
Top 5 cards.
He's at 18, so he needs 6 artifacts. He's only got 2, that'll make 3.
Okay. Engineered Explosives is on 0.
You play that to get around like Crypt and Chalice, I guess. That's a weird decision tree in a game like this, right? Like, do you play your answer before they play it? So, like, what do you think they ever Chalice on 0?
Right.
Or do you just, because then now it's just sitting in his hand, like in play, when he could say this game goes forever, he could play it on 2 to answer his 2 mana artifacts, so he doesn't die to Tezzeret ability. Like, where do you get the small edge from a card like that, and what point of the game to play it?
It destroys each non-land permanent. So even if Vault of Whispers start swinging for a huge amount.
Aggressive chop.
I cut it! Let's keep playing.
We're trying to, time.
Snapcaster targeting.
Is this an end step snap? There's a snap key.
This is after a careful study, so it's his main phase. Ponder or something. There's a ponder. He can't use that to ponder though.
Yeah, he can.
There we
go. So now the Scalding Turn is just tapped. Untap the Scalding Turn.
No, that's right, because we went careful study.
Oh yeah.
Snap.
Here.
Ponder. And this Snapcaster is going to draw the game, right? If Remy was somehow able to get everything attacking.
Unless he has multiple.
Well, yeah.
Spell states.
If he had other Tezzeret or Antiquities War last turn.
Remy notions to the glare. Glare.
There's some glare over here and right there.
I would like to announce a glare.
Turn 3?
Turn
of 3?
1 or 3?
I think it was 1, 2, and this is 3.
Because I heard time when it was Tim's last turn. So this should be turn 3. No, turn 2.
Okay. They want to keep playing. Agent of Bolas, what are you going to do? Remy's got nothing in hand. He gets this turn and one more turn after this.
He
He needed to draw something else and he didn't do it.
Because, like you said, needed antiquities word last turn.
Yeah.
He's the Belfast Strix and draw, and he's up to 4 artifacts.
1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8 damage.
I hope
Plus Chalice.
you liking Bolas is a temporary thing. Remember, he's going to be defeated at the end of the.
Oh, the turns counter just became a Chalice on 2. We don't.
Do you think it'll keep going up as the turns progress?
Chalice on 3. Chalice on 4.
Because proliferate?
Alright, so if he draws an artifact and Tim does himself some damage.
Well, Tim has a bunch of fetches, right? Like, if he's like, well, I'm going to aggressively search to try to find. But he still has to block with the Belfast Strix. He's down another artifact. So the Tezzeret doesn't go to 3. Tim's like, oh, attack your Tezzeret for 2.
Bolas is a boss because the law is silent. Boss.
It's like the 90s and 80s crime movies where everyone, like, all the head bad guys were just called boss. Like the underlings are boss, boss, boss. We got.
Is that what they were like?
That's my opinion of them. I mean, I could be wrong. Boss, someone's chasing us. Why abrupt the king?
And how did you cast? Oh, okay.
He has an engineered on explosives on 0 that's been sitting in play. I will collect a brutality. Yeah.
This is more fun.
To take an instant or sorcery that you have not cast. Oh no, I'll kill this. No escalate.
An attack? Okay.
Him. Attack him. Not. So Antiquity Wars into another artifact does.
No. Antiquity's War would take 3 turns to happen.
Well, it cantrips for an artifact, right?
Yeah, but you need that 3rd turn for them. Oh, because if he got enough artifacts, yeah. Aha!
Take.
Deal some damage
12.
to you.
Sir, activate your fetch lands now, please.
And they drew! That was the most satisfying end ever.
That was the trademark. I'm just gonna tilt my hand yeah, it's a draw.
Well, okay.
If that doesn't communicate.
Alright, let's see if I can stop some glare real quick. Okay. I'll leave you alone to chat for a minute.
Okay, well, we'll see if they interact with me. Randomly almost got to hard cast Grizzle. They did, if they had a Grizzle Brown. I wonder if it should be called Reanimator, it should just be Sultai Control. And it just has a Reanimator package, like you cut 5 cards. 6 cards. Yeah, I don't think we should call it Reanimator. He has a Sultai mid-range deck. He included Animate Dead, and maybe some Grizzlebrands.
Yeah, I couldn't see any of that.
And an Iona. He has an Iona.
Why not?
Value Mater? Tub-Mater? I'll take that. Maybe he's playing the anime deck because he's playing a Muldrotha in his deck somewhere, so it's almost like a Nick Fit deck. Because Muldrotha, you can play enchantments a lot easier, so you don't play a cantrip and stuff, and then... So I guess that makes sense. That's the reason for maybe the anime dead. There's a Grizzlebrand. She's playing a 1-of Grizzlebrand, Shieldrith, the Whispering One, and an Iona. A bunch of other Navison, Angel of Hope, on the board, and Elish Norn. The Art of Blazing Archon and the Entombs. So it's like an 8-card package. No glare
We didn't
reduction.
fix it. Nope, we're still gonna play glare. We're gonna play MTG, and the G stands for glare.
There's cards named glare, right?
Magic the Glaring. Sure, let's find out. This is very important.
Glare Caster. I think it's a card from Onslaught that like does something for your clerics.
Dawn Glare Invoker. There's an Onslaught Glare Caster. Glare of Herstory.
Glare the subtle.
Hey, don't MTG bot us. We have a Killing Glare and an Immolating Glare. Immolating? I've never even said these words out loud.
You played both of the Gatewatch Limited.
Yeah, I don't think I just said I'd play this.
You just like announce.
I'm gonna destroy your thing.
That was the one time you could say I'm gonna cast glare on your thing. It wasn't on stream, but
Tagarath this glare.
Tangarath's glare.
Uh-huh.
Look at the top 3 cards of target opponent's library, then put them back in any order. That player looks at the top 3 cards of your library, then puts them back. Do you think that's good against miracles? You can like unset their counterbalance if it's not on one.
This is a card. Somebody build this into a deck. Make it happen.
How can this be involved with Chains of Mephistopheles, Squee, the Immortal?
What is happening? He's just staring at him, but through binoculars or some telescope thing.
Well, how else would you glare at someone? You might as well magnify it. He's a Minotaur. Maybe he just has really bad eyesight. That's how thick his bifocals need to be.
Why do you look at their library and then they look at your library? Why would you want to do that?
Because it's got to be, I can't think of it right now.
Balanced?
No.
Fair?
Where it's, like it's equal to both sides of the like game. Like the old enchantments, the old world enchantments where they did the same effect across the board.
This is what we're dealing with today, chat. We're dealing with glare.
Tangarth's glare.
Yep. And it feels about as good as this card feels.
We can call the lights Tangarth.
Tagarath.
Tangarth the
And we somehow figured out a way to bring Squee back into it. See, it's all it just comes back.
You did it. I didn't have to do it.
Chains of Mephistopheles Squee right there. There he is.
There he is. He's also like renowned for being annoying, right? And this Minotaur's like, here's my dirtiest look through my microscope.
Hey, it's us. And we've got the old chat thing on that one. That's weird.
It's definitely bug value meter. There's gonna be some action-packed on-camera trading.
Let's see. They're pulling up cards that start with glare. Is what they're doing.
Oh, you're right. They're in the white section, so they could have a glare caster, maybe.
Chat's working when it's supposed to.
Ensure the production of chat.
Okay.
I think we owe it to Austin's brother to find out his name.
We're okay. I mean, all right. We're gonna have round 2 of some magic. Hey.
It's Matt.
Of course it's Matt. I knew that.
Oh.
Kyer and Stockton. Okay, you're right. I could change the names, but I'm not going to. Instead, we're gonna look at this bag on a table.
That's a tin bag. I saw 2. I was hoping that would be 2 for them as well. That'd be 2 bags on one table. So a draw. We didn't get to see what happened to Man on the Stretch. I'm assuming Corey won because someone was asking if he would like to stay at the table.
Ooh.
It's Friday already.
Because on my other thing, I didn't change the thing.
As Magic players, you're a Planeswalker. That's the way the story tells it. So we're on a different plane than you. It's Earth 2. You're on Earth 1. We're on Earth 2. It's Friday.
Seize the Day as the, I think, second to last rare and going in the set. That's exciting right there.
They're trying to seize the day of the last Master set.
What? They're getting awesome artists. This is a cool Therese Nielsen pattern of rebirth.
It is. On an unplayable card, which means the art is almost irrelevant.
Uh-huh.
You think that's frustrating as an artist, like creating this piece you love and then it goes on a card that just no
that's
one
strange.
appreciates.
All right, we've got Tim.
Yes, Tim
No.
and Stockton.
What? No, it's
Yeah.
Brian.
Oh, that's Brian.
Brian is playing some actual Reanimator.
It's red black. Unless you're trying to say like red is the blue of modern. Because red is like the most predominant.
And
color.
who's his opponent?
That's Tim's.
Okay.
From last round.
There we go. Here's a deck. Reanimator versus sort of Reanimator. What should we title this?
Do you think red black is pretty meh? Why? Because it's not interesting, or is it just you think that like the blue black version of the evolved to be a better version of the deck? Like is Days that much better than Faithful City? Yeah, that's a meh factor, but it makes sense as a like a big tournament.
It gives us something fun to do for the next 2 minutes, and then we'll figure out something later to do.
So that's
after.
Stockton and Matt. Perfect. No, because Matt, that's probably Austin. So that's definitely Stockton. I saw a cutting wish. That's Austin. You just delete Austin, brother. Do you think it's gonna like go turn one into and Brian's gonna like, okay, I'll reanimate your thing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what happened to that? Bring this back. Oh, I just didn't transition.
Maybe Tim doesn't understand that he's on reanimate. There's no Chancellor. No Chancellor trigger. He just drew the Chancellor.
Turbo Depths on our backup match
Fetch, pass.
versus that's Dredge.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I guess it is Matt, but I thought Corey. I guess Corey lost. I don't play Miracles. I thought about that would be an interesting. I mean, isn't that what MTG Goldfish did? They used to have like a stat based. This is how these decks do against these decks, and Wizards was like, take that down.
Yep.
Which I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, some people like those metrics.
On our other match, Stockton just went turn one duress versus the manaless.
Okay, that's actually horrible for manaless Dredge. Because he's one card. He's another card away from natural discarding mana size.
Yep. That's just like a time walk, pretty much.
Well, and Turbo Depths is packed with discard effects, right? Just like 1-for-1, take a card, like Inquisition, Thought Seize, and Duress effects, and Hymns. There's a chance that Matt never dredges this game, depending on Stockton's draw.
Hey, it's a Entomb. The B is silent.
Entomb.
Yeah.
Because English makes sense.
It's not an Entome. It's an Entomb because there's a B.
Because of he has to have the like Lotus Petal reanimate, right? He doesn't do this because he knows his opponent has enemy dead.
Entombee, like Gumby.
It's like Kansas and then Arkansas. It's Arkansas.
don't go there. That's just weird.
They're spelled the same. There's just AR is put on the front.
Here we go. Ready?
Oh, he end stepped out.
Yeah.
There.
And he's got the Lotus Petal. And unmasks and whatever else he needs.
Man, he just got meh because it's a meh deck.
We're gonna unmask.
Meh.
Pitching a Entomb.
It's a meh.
Because everything in the deck is meh.
It's a meh deck.
That's what it says, yeah.
Entombee.
Can Tim counter an unmask and...
Did we see a force out of Tim last game? Once? A force on a chalice?
I don't think so.
No, just 0 forces. Because
they weren't even alive. That's what I like. That's what we strive for on this stream, to just really cut into the references that no one else gets.
You gotta the inclusion's important, right?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, this looks fun.
But I'm also curious if they're implying that I was too young for Magic.
Probably.
You're wrong.
Oh, look at those two abrupt decays that don't get to do anything because he's got an island. Whoops.
You have to include Island already.
Sure. I don't know. I don't know what Tim's included
Yeah,
anyway.
it's Tim's-
I have no
I guess
idea what he
you're right.
needs to. He might have
Yeah.
Mox Opal for all I
I'm just
know.
saying because like it makes me want to like because whenever I see decks that are playing like 3 colors and they're playing like a 1-off, like a forest or a
Mhm.
mountain, they're playing Jeskai and they're playing mountain, or they're playing Bant and they're playing a forest. I can't force myself to bring myself to do it. Like I've played Bant a lot, and I thought, well, the forest or the mountain or the forest is, I just can't. It's such a weird draw.
It's Reanimator sorted. Don't worry. If there's a Jace in this deck,
Tim references
So-
his island, so
Yeah.
this is an island.
Yeah. it should cast Abrupt Decay, but it doesn't. So Brian unmasked. He took a Animate Dead, a Eternal Masters version, and then he played a 4th edition one, which
Superior lines.
I guess.
You don't like the old versions?
If it was in beta, sure. Oh,
Beta.
fourth. If it maybe unlimited, maybe that'd
Yeah,
be
yeah,
okay.
okay. We can,
Revised is if you have to, but only if it's like super beat up. So it looks like you've
Oh,
really
yeah.
done some animating in your
No,
time.
I have a swamp from like when I played when I was 9 years old, and it just looks terrible. And it's like, oh, I will play this when I need a swamp.
Hey, Grizzlebrand draws a bunch of cards, and then
Activate Lotus Petal.
he has
Faithless.
no faith.
What do you think he's digging for? Like, what's his setup here? Just more threat, because the Abrupt Decays he can't cast unless if Tim peels Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, because he is playing those, he can fetch, chop, tap his island for
So-
black.
The only there isn't much to do here now, right? It would be Lotus Petal into
He has
reanimate, but you can't reanimate
Die.
when you're at 4 life.
Yeah, he would have a double Lotus Petal to Oh no!
Oh,
now he gets
here's
a
the
Dark
thing.
Ritual. He has a Exhume, and Tim
Exhume,
has
yeah.
no creature in his yard.
Yeah.
But he has an Entomb and an active fetch, so he can't do that. Because Tim was like, "Oh, cool! I have a creature too." Unless he has a Lotus Petal to bounce it. Because I played I played Black Red Runner once, and like I did the 1-mana Lotus Petal, just keep bouncing your stuff.
Yeah.
So Tim gets the opportunity to reanimate.
We're gonna
Shield
see some of
here.
the cards Tim is looking at.
So he's playing Force.
This is the greediest of plays. Yeah, kind of. I mean, if Tim
Oh,
draws,
he has unmasks. So he's going to get back the Tide Spout, and whatever Tim gets, he's going to unmask it. So Tim has to, like,
so it's not that greedy. I was gonna say, if
It-
Tim drew a swamp, he'd get to Abrupt Decay the Animate Dead, and then
it's still greedy because he has to play around Force. Like if Tim pays a bunch of life to draw to a Force and forces the unmask, I guess the bounce trigger still resolves.
So Grizzlebrand went to the graveyard. Exhume is still on the stack, and now Brian's going to
He has black mana floating.
respond here.
So he responded to the Exhume with Entomb, and Tim thinks, okay, this resolves. Brian says, wait, I'm going to respond by I'm going to Dark Ritual. Why is he thinking Dark Ritual does something? Get back Chancellor. Oh, now he's protected from Force. So now he can Exhume again for the Tide Spout.
Ah, this is
So,
cute.
Brian outthought this line. than
This is
us.
how you play Blackwood Reanimator and actually like make your line think harder than it needs
Yeah,
to.
the most winningest line, and Tim just oh, he picks his hand. I thought he's scooping. You scoop here, right? Because you know he's gonna get the Tide Spout, and he doesn't make this line unless he has more spells. He's drawn 14. He can't cast that. It's countered. Oh,
Yeah.
he can cast it. It's just it's countered. Yeah. So now he is at 3 life instead of if he activates his brand again.
Okay, this was turn 3 or 2. This was turn 2.
Yep. Bounce or Grizzlebrand, sir.
That's how you win with a Dark Ritual right there. Cast it.
Is
and
that
bounce
the one
Grizzlebrand.
that won the game, or is
Yep.
is it the first
Nope,
one in the
nope.
graveyard?
That one just set up this one to win.
You're right. Man.
4th edition Dark Rituals, no less.
Are you gonna have to have a serious conversation with Brian about his inclusion choices? In
Maybe.
He has mismatched Faithless looting because I had to bring 4 Faithless to the shop that were original printings, and he still has that Modern Masters one in his deck. He has 4th edition Animate Deads and 4th edition Dark Rituals.
Yeah, and an unlimited Scrubland.
With a revised Badlands.
Yeah, well, it's bad, so that makes sense. Yeah, you can't go right there. Hey, there's the match.
There's only
there's
one.
There's the game.
Trigger. Why? There's only one type spot trigger.
He Dark Ritualed and then unmasked, so there's 2.
Well, the first one bounced the Grizzlebrand, and then Tim just picked up both lands.
Oh, yeah. It was over a while ago.
Oh, he's scooping.
All right, to our other match.
So this is game 2.
Game 2 of our other match. Maybe
Yeah.
we're holding the players to get
you're
them
right.
to get so that they start right when we're ready to. So we just gave them the go ahead. We
Because the results of the match are relevant to the winner of the tournament. We don't want to see something that's
right.
not on
Yeah.
camera.
So that is an Urborg
Glare.
into a Lotus Petal. It's a
Into the Lord.
Because-
It's Dark Depths. He probably has the Hex Mage with this draw. That's why you make that play. The
yeah.
2-for-1 play. Matt didn't mulligan, did he? I thought he only counted 6 cards.
We're gonna pretend Manaless Dredge won the last round because Stockton is going. Well, we don't know actually, do we? Don't know who went first. Manaless Dredge is the one deck that likes to go second, so he could have lost and said, "I'll go second."
I'm assuming he lost with the turn 1 duress because like there's a chance of Stockton just repeatedly takes 1 card. His engine is never online.
Yeah, this is not game 1, and I don't know which time's up. I have no idea. When did we...
Oh, it is definitely not.
Yeah, we can turn down the glare, but this is a glare stream, and so we actually I have the glare meter all the way up to it's like 95% right now.
Magic the Glare.
Yep, MTG.
Unfortunately, we are incapable of turning down.
I tried, and somebody stopped me.
Yeah, the lights have to stay on in the shop. Apparently, that's like a requirement of your fire code. Like people have to see to get out.
Yeah. Hey, it's a Hex Mage. Oh my gosh.
It's a Glare Mage.
You can't even
changed the name.
So Stockton has pretty much a 2020, and
We could have Stockton to stand up.
Matt can't do anything about it.
That's like I will make it so I don't get 1 shot. It's not a clean 20.
Yep, the Glare Mage is very good. It has glare proof, glare strike.
Maybe we should start a group to just say everyone should play with Matt sleeves. Would that help?
Yeah. What happened to my card? We'll just bring this back. This will help. This is the sponsor of our stream.
This is us right now. Just
Hagar and Nav.
looking through a microscope at each other for the glare.
Yep.
There it gets glare. My target first.
Hey, it's a 2020. Oh, and look, I've got more of all these. That was neat.
And that is my hand is
Manaless Dredge things.
Because you made a 2020 on turn 2, and I chose to be on the draw.
Yeah. Glare Powder Mage. Ah, that might be a stream sponsor next Friday. All right, let's look at our
Still sideboarding.
backup match.
It's a mirror. So it's the backup mirror.
This is not a mirror match. I'm sorry.
This says Reanimator and Reanimator. I thought Sorter was just a like a color pigmentation code for paint. It's not a paint. You're right.
I think we should hang something up, like just a sheet, like a cheap sheet above
Like a linen sheet.
Yeah, and like stretch it out and connect it to all the walls. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, because like they have those for those like shade awnings.
Yeah,
where they're like layered. Tiers.
But instead of like a high expensive canvas, we'll just do a colored sheet.
Yeah.
And then it would still be well lit. And
you could do 5 of them for the colors magic. And then do the colors of glare.
So it'd be like that blue stream, the underwater stream. Do you remember that? For some reason, we were under the water one time. Does anybody in chat remember being underwater with us? It's like
Okay, you guys
6 months
having
ago.
Good ideas all of a sudden.
Well,
There's some
yeah.
salt
yeah.
in that comment.
It's not going to happen. It's just an idea of how to fix the problem. Nobody's actually going to do it. No, we'll probably try and fix it because Brian thought that the glare was fixed, and it's.
Can you imagine like being at like a tournament hall streamer being like, hey, where can I put like my stage that avoids lighting? Maybe that's why like you know how the Japanese circuits they have like a tier. It's like you play in a pit, and then like there's a handrail up above, so you can like lean and watch the games from above. Maybe that's also like glare prevention
For lighting.
So we have to dig a pit for the streamers.
Ooh.
The pit of despair.
It is kind of silly, the idea of watching a match live that's on camera because you're so far back you can hardly see anything.
Yeah.
When you could just pull out your phone and watch it practically live now.
Yeah.
But for a while there, you didn't have internet access to those, right?
Well, I've always noticed that in large tournament, your phone is just very difficult to get a consistent because there's so many people on the towers. Fight. It was a magic fight, sure. I won't call it a duel.
We're going to Mulligan. Strangely, Reanimator mid-range maybe doesn't draw opening hands very well.
Yeah, you have to have a weird assortment of cards to make it feel like a playable hand, and then like or maybe he's like mulligan aggressively for like graveyard 8. Understanding that his deck is the less efficient graveyard deck.
Mid-range, yeah. The mid-range plus animate dead your own stuff that you put in there at not instant speed. We can see that card. We know what it is.
We can also see Brian's hand, which is not always the case. Sometimes the glare's on that hand. Is he playing a 4th edition Swamp?
I think it's revised Swamp, but sure. Hey, somebody's cheering.
What number is that? Cheer.
You got like 8? Not 8? Half of them in? That's impressive.
Half of them?
I didn't actually count, but it looked like a bunch. Ooh, it's a sneaky Grizzlebrand because of the glare.
It comes out from behind the Grizzlebrand.
I'm going to reanimate my Chancellor. And you choose not to stop me.
He chose Chancellor over anything else in that situation. He chose Intune, Chancellor. You have 1 land in play. You have to pay 2 mana for the rest of the game for any cantrip or surgical extraction type effect. That's an interesting choice, I think. But like, because that card existed in Legacy for years before it was seen play.
Right. Yeah, it was like $1 card.
Yeah, it's a bulk rare even now, right?
It jumped up.
Yeah, it did.
Once
it's a
Black Red became a thing, yeah. It got up to like $10 a card, I think, at one point, but.
And then people realized, oh, this is a new Phyrexia card that people just have to go through boxes and
find.
find.
And people stopped playing Black Red Reanimator because I think most Legacy players are like, hey, this deck wins, but it's not fun.
Yeah, it's very. But I mean, depending on how you play the game, like that could be the way you view any matchup. Like if you get efficient enough with the deck where you feel like you're winning without like you're consistently choosing the right line, you change your deck.
Yeah, I think Black Red though that happens a lot.
Faster, right? Lightning quick.
Game 2.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of these to throw at the thing. Put them in the thing. Let's see if I can beat 18. If I click a few times.
That Baleful Strix should be countered, or that your board should be tapped. It doesn't seem to matter, but.
Hey!
Okay. Well. 1, 2. Oh, I bounced out. 2.
I'm on a streak.
2.
They're going in.
3, 4, 5.
That's as good as Clavian right there.
And you got 5 as well.
No, he got like 8 of 18. I got 5 of 35. Those are pretty much the same numbers though.
Your free throw percentage is a lot lower.
Free throws are hard, all right.
That's
Why aren't any of these things costing more?
Is that something we should? Because it's Brian's trigger to announce, correct? Like that's something we can like. Was it mandatory?
Right, I think so.
It's a May.
No, they just cost more, don't they?
No, it's a countered effect. It says it's not like a thought.
So it's a trigger.
Yeah, it's a whenever opponent counter that spell.
Yeah, that's a trigger. So he's just missing triggers. Cool.
Yeah, he's just choosing to miss the triggers, or he feels so far advantaged it doesn't matter. Maybe it's a bait. Maybe he's like setting up. Now Tim's like, oh, I cast my 3-mana spell in response, and he's all like, no, I have these triggers.
That one gets countered.
Yeah, I mean, playing the same thing over and over like can get monotonous unless you really enjoy the lines, like or the whatever part of that playstyle.
Whoa, 2. Hold on. You got to do more than 2 for them to go towards the cup. Apparently, I don't know what the minimum is.
2.
It's like 3 or something. Just a little bit more. Let's see if it's 3. You got it.
2 cents peasants.
This doesn't want to load.
Our tournament's too big. Well, I don't know why you'd think it would load. There's too many cell towers being.
Right. There's too many people.
Turnout's too high.
Chancellor of the Anal, really? Well done.
Who wrote that? Come on.
Brian is searching for probably something about Annex.
It's a source article, right?
He's on Salvation, maybe? Oh, maybe he's looking
like
at layers.
Oh, because Yerborg and Magus of the Moon, the layers.
Yeah.
Like if he plays the Yerborg after there, I think they're all swamps. But if he plays it before, it clears the layers.
There's a bunch of hand gesturing. Urborg is a mountain. What happens if you play an Urborg after? It's still a mountain, right?
No swamp anymore. To resolve this question. Swing and a miss. Baseball season's over, man. Come on. Who watches that boring sport? Oh, that's a bird mechanical.
That one, oh, he caught it.
I'm back.
That one we can fix.
My hand flew in and
Yep.
was connected. Well, always, no matter what, no matter the layers, it'll always be a mountain. It gets a mountain when this spell is sent.
Okay. Yay!
Yeah, that was helpful. Thank you.
You did it. Spellful Strix is going to slow things down a little bit.
Do you think he runs the Magus in? Like, I need. Like,
No.
We'll trade that.
I don't think so. I think he's just going to build up a huge. Ooh, Tim got a swamp. That makes things a little bit more interesting.
He can now cast Animateds. So Brian takes a greedy line.
Why did he fetch? I think he went to go get.
He wanted the island and didn't.
Yeah.
And like when you're playing dual lands, it's really common you just view your fetches as like it's whatever I need.
Yes, it was in response to the Magus.
Yeah. Because, like, I know when I've shifted from Delver decks to non-Delver decks, it's weird because your fetches, like, everything's an island.
Right.
Is there a line that Tim has to win this game?
Maybe.
Now with that double attack, yeah. Okay, unlock my lands. Take. Chancellor's a 5/7?
5/6.
5/6.
So it's a Mohammadi Jinn.
I'm too young to know what that card is.
Look at the screen like wigging out over this chance. That's weird.
Yeah, pixely.
Is that the line? If Brian just leaves?
I was like, I have to go back.
Found the line!
He's playing a plateau.
It's a plateau.
A plateau.
Yeah.
I've actively considered never owning a plateau. Like, I want to get, like, I've owned one once for a cube, and I don't think I would want to do that again.
The unlimited one's cool though.
It's still a plateau.
Yeah.
You have to play plateau decks.
It's kind of strange.
Snap, abrupt decay.
Snap, Baleful Strix. He can't use his thing that he wanted to snap.
He remembered his trigger.
Yeah, that time he did.
So, Tim's line of snap, abrupt decay, the enemy did.
It didn't work. He did it, but he baited him. It worked.
It was a setup the whole time. He wanted him to cast the snap into
Play
it.
red, white painter and don't use plateaus.
I would play Sacred Boundaries. Like, I'll take 2 to not own a plateau.
I have a collector's edition plateau.
That's
okay.
As long as it's the full.
Because it's actually not playable, and so it's fine. Okay. Oh, he could have provoked a kid
you're
because
right.
it can't be countered.
But also, Tim like hastily tapped his tropical island, which is his only green source.
This is really tight magic right here. All right. Does he have an abrupt decay? Is that a thing that's even in his graveyard? I can't tell.
Yeah, because he cast one on. Didn't he cast one this game? I think. Maybe he doesn't have one.
Sacred Foundries with Ancient Tombs. That is.
And I'll play Angel's Grace.
Yeah, Ancient Enemy Dead on a Strix does kind of suck. It draws you a card.
And
then it's an 0-1, yeah. It's an 0-1 death touch though, so if it does touch you, you're dead. No,
it's
because
Enemy Dead.
Yeah.
Negative.
Hates
1.
Control jumps in there and points that one out for us. He touches you with his beak, obviously, or his wings, or his balefulness. Hey, Reanimator
That's where the
1.
glare comes from.
From the baleful?
Well, when they don't have anything to touch you with, they just
glare at you. Which is why we have glare. So we've got a while still.
The other match is done, right? Because it's just lightning quick. Like
the depths were turboed.
Yep.
Academy Chancellor.
Do you guys want to see spoilers? You've already seen all the spoilers. You don't want to see spoilers, do you?
How quickly after does the EV calculation come out?
after all the rares are spoiled.
There's one right now.
Is it below the MSRP?
No, it's at the moment the EV is right at $15
a pack, which is what they're going for.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the MSRP. They're going to be for less, right?
Yeah. And there's no uncommons yet.
And there's the valuable ones are spoiled.
I see.
But I mean, there could easily be more. We're at $16 a pack right now.
So in the card hands.
But some of those numbers are ridiculous. Like Back to Basics is $100 right now, and it's going to drop to $25.
Well, and like the other art Dark Depths is like $60 or $70 right now, and like there's that. How would it be?
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if at least half of the rares have in price, right?
This is a whim, but is any part of them redoing a Dark Depths Thespian Stage reprint a chance that it's unbanned in Modern?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think they're very consistent on the ban list, anyways.
All right, we'll take a look at this real quick because we're here and because we got a little while.
At least, yeah. Back to Basics will crash hard because it's only a singular printing.
Let's look at Magic cards. All right, so here's the most recently spoiled. We finally get a Seize the Day reprint, which everybody's been clamoring for. Here's this cool new art on Pattern of Rebirth.
Are you guys talking about the new reprints?
We just started
Through Time is a really, really needed reprint.
Gotta have that because nobody has any copies. I haven't seen any played in Modern or Legacy or
Vintage.
Yeah,
Takes your time.
Yeah, it's hard to find that card.
It's so hard.
It's a really difficult card to access.
It's just nobody has them for their decks, right?
It's
I mean, that's
it's a
that
restrictively owned
Pattern
card.
of Rebirth are like the worst rare reprints.
This is kind of fun. Downshifted from rare to uncommon.
Yeah,
that feels right. Like with the power creep, that feels like
it's gonna be great in the white-black reanimator.
This is frustrating to me. Like, if you pay $45 to draft the set and somebody boggles you, which could easily happen.
There's Chainer's Edict though.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
There's an edict.
All the red rares and mythics suck. I mean, they can't get past Comet Storm. Let's be honest.
Spoils of the Vault. That's cool new art.
Desperately
Yeah.
needed. Disrupting Shoal. Desperately needed.
Desperately. Well, it was like $20. That was kind of silly
It
price.
had spiked for a while.
This is
Yeah,
going to
but
come way down.
That's
The
nice.
Vinegar is going back to like $2 or $3.
Yeah.
Which is where it should
Where
be.
it should have been.
Yeah.
Bridge is.
These will both drop. This was like $4 or something silly. It's
Yeah.
it's uncommon, but it'll
So it's
still.
going to be back to like 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Both of these two.
It could stay there, I think,
It could
because
stay-
Path was pretty. The Path we're talking about a $10
Yeah.
uncommon, and then it got reprinted and it
It
went
was
to
like
like
7.
for a year, and then went back up.
Yeah, you're right.
This is kind of cute at common. Okay. These got downshifted. This got downshifted. This got downshifted.
So like we could see the downshifted Mist Holographin from mythic to rare, like you were saying, because it's a mythic. You realize that, right?
It's a mythic right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
mythic.
Mist
So
Holographin submission.
we're out now. There's only one more rare to be spoiled, and we got. I'm gonna slowly scroll up so that nobody gets dizzy. We got this. So there's
Oh,
one
season.
more rare.
Yeah, is there?
I mean, they could downshift either Food Chain or Mist Holographin to uncommon. Like that's not too crazy.
Yeah, but this is typical when you see spoilers. The last few that get spoiled are usually not very.
The dregs.
Food chained would have been yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have
think.
seen it
I think so.
already. Foils. Foils pretty cool with Popper. Yeah.
Who needs
Good
more
book.
stages? Yeah. All right, let's look at cards
Stages.
that are going to.
Circular Logic was a $4 card and is now going back to like
Let's do
1 or 2.
this way. Let's look at cards that are going to tank significantly. How about that?
Temporal Manipulation.
Yeah.
Go down to like 20.
Okay.
Vengevine, because it's a singular printing plus a promo. It's a mythic, but it's still an extra printing of the card. So
But
it's going
it's a
down to, like,
mythic in a
30.
$15 pack. So
Yeah, it's still going to be 30, 40.
okay. Back to basics, dropping significantly.
Seismic Assault,
It's-
obviously.
Yeah, Back to Basics is going to half its value. Machias is going to.
This is going to go down less than that. Back to basics right now is like an $80 card, and it's going to drop all the way down to like $20.
I can see that. Yeah.
Because that's what happened to Flusterstorm if you use that as like a model, right? That was
Yes,
like an
that's true.
$80 to $100 card now that you can get an IMA one.
The Monarch Tutor is not going to tank, but it's like that printing is going to be pretty cheap. So all the Commander players don't want that,
Yeah.
but any of the old school players and whatever are going to have
Yeah.
nice ones.
Ruined Halo, Through the Breach, those will both drop significantly.
Through the Bridge will probably go down to 30.
And it's at 60 right now, so half. Right?
Yeah.
And then Ruined Halo is similarly like a $30, $40 card, and
Yeah, it's
it'll
probably
drop.
15. 20.
Hierarch will come down a little bit and then go
Yeah,
back up, right?
But it's
So
going to be the same as like a Bob sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's printed at rare versus mythic, but
Vengeance will drop down.
One printing.
Reanimate probably will, somewhat. I don't know how
yeah,
much.
like you said, it's a rare and a $15 pack.
Yeah.
It's only a $20 in common right now.
But
That was
so
upshifted,
the
which is
box
nice.
topper things throw the math out too, right? It's
Yeah.
hard to guess exactly how much
somewhat.
those will be worth and how much that affects the.
Supposedly the value on them is 40 apiece.
Captain QC doesn't own a place out of Snapcaster Mages.
I don't actually. I only own 3.
And...
They're all the Tiago Shanard though.
Yeah.
But you don't need more than 3 unless you're playing like very specific decks. Like Miracle.
Unless you're playing Mob.
Teague will come down a little bit because he's at rare. Pulse is actually kind of expensive right now.
Really?
Fulminator Mage will come down.
Yeah.
Although that printing is going to be more well liked than the previous one.
Do you guys remember when Fulminators were like
When-
$60?
When Jund was
No.
the deck in Modern, yeah.
You don't remember
That
that?
was a thing.
Playing
So-
specifically that time.
So Modern came out, and like it was back before they even had the Onslaught fetches in Modern, and it was like a bulk rare card. Like I traded for one for like a cube, and it was like nothing. People didn't care, and then they went up to like $60. And it was right like when Living End spiked. Jund was like the deck to beat, and like Tron was trying to compete with that, so all the Jund needed them.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was such.
He's going to come down a little bit.
It was a weird card to be that.
Engineer explosive at rare, alter at rare, and Mana Vault at Mythic probably won't. But
No, Mana Vault.
These
I mean, Mana Vault's not going to shift that much.
Do you guys
and
think
then-
the trio of draws is another needed reprint, or do you think like $40 for like?
Like that Emrakul at 30 or $40 is.
But
I
that's
think
where they're
I think
at.
so. But Kozileks and Olumogs are still like 15, 18 of
Yeah.
these. So yeah. I think at Mythic though, it's like their prices aren't really going to change.
Yeah, it's not going to impact the price.
But it's kind of cool to have those as big baddies in your deck.
The extension border will be cool. for the ever cool. I think I'm a fan of that.
With tax, it's going to be like $380 if you pay MSRP.
Yeah, but they're not going to be sold at MSRP, are they?
400.
I would be surprised if they don't hit MSRP after the first weekend. I think pre-orders are as low as they are right now, but it's going to shoot up because of just the girth of the printing.
You think it's
gonna be
a
high
low?
print run?
No, it's actually relatively low.
You think it's going to be a low?
It's going to be similar to like Iconic Masters and M25.
Yeah.
You know, so like there's going to be plenty for the first release, but after the first release, there's not going to be a whole ton.
But they reprinted. Which one was it? Iconic Masters.
Iconic Masters.
And it didn't seem like that.
They reprinted, but it was like our initial stock on that was 150 boxes, and our restock was like 30 boxes.
Oh, so it was a very, very small one.
Yeah, so we'll see enough. We'll see enough product that people will be able to buy and draft it for the next couple months.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be as bad as Modern Masters 1.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be as like overprinted as like EMA felt. Essentially.
Yeah, I get that. Do you guys? So this is something once they're gonna win, but the way that they've been handling like reprinting Eternal cards, because they clearly are listening. They're like, okay, here's Phyrexian Tower, here's Mana Vault, here's Demonic Tutor again, here's these cards that we don't want to print. Yeah, we don't want to print them very often, but we do want them to be more accessible. Do you think that's like a very like prying open the hands of the reserve list discussion?
I don't know if it's prying open the hands of the reserve list discussion, but the fact that it's been on everyone's mind as much as it has recently, like,
because that was my hope. Like when they first made a master set, and they're like, "Here's Goyf, here's Bob, here's these really good cards that we don't want to print. We can't print them into standard because they're too powerful."
Yeah.
And then they followed it up by doing it again. And then
the speculators got wrecked. Some of them did.
The Phyrexian Tower speculators.
No. The Lava Cloud Reaches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
They're hitting stuff right on the fringes of the reserve list, right? Like Back to Basics is one of the big ones in Ancient Tomb and Reanimator. Like they're honorary reserve lists, sort of.
Yeah, and you assume they are because like Reanimate's a Tempest card. Like, why is this not like? And then
because it's uncommon.
And it just causes this level of confusion of why is this card on and this card isn't. And I just feel like at what point is it? Well, we've seen how the secondary market handles this. It's just. At what point is it that?
I think that this right here, that like this feels once again like Modern Masters 1. Just the overall value of the packs, the power level. Like honestly, cards. Drafting this is going to be ridiculous because like
someone's going to have
who got the Reanimate deck and who got the Depths deck and like
who got the Boggle deck? That's like actually because can Boggles race Mirror Legion? Is there like a spirit link to give it protection from creatures or anything?
There's not a spirit link, but there's Daybreak Coronet, which is pretty decent.
And like maybe a bounce spell. That's enough.
There isn't anything that gives it. Like,
there aren't any bounce spells yet, are there? Although this Containment Priest being in here is pretty cool, and that was also a needed reprint.
Masters.
Yeah, you finally get it at foil, right? It's not a
invocation.
I mean, there's going to be some pretty interesting stuff.
I like the Temporal Manipulation reprint because like. Time walks are expensive. That one hasn't ever been printed other than a Judge promo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Judge promo and then the Portal, yeah.
P3K.
No, it's not P3K. Temporal Manipulation's Portal.
Portal. Oh,
yeah. They're really not. Yeah, but they.
Yeah, but they're going to be rare enough, right?
Yeah. And they're actively reprinting every single card that sees play that they can reprint right now.
Yeah.
Until they just start making
like it's gonna be sort of a feel bad if your pool is like Caracas, Phyrexian Tower, Back to Basics, Cavern of Souls, XYZ. Like you got plenty of value out of it, but like if those are your rares, you can be like, well, cool. Like
Masters,
I guess I'm building a box.
Risen. But like this whole year's been Masters of like, oh, here's another Masters set, right? Because we thought this would be the celebratory of 25 years, so that was a great idea. We did it, and then it just kind of wasn't that impressive. I haven't been impressed with the Magic set in a while. I don't know if I'm just like my perspective on the game has changed enough where I'm not impressed.
Dominaria was fun, right?
Guilds of Ravnica.
I had such high hopes for Dominaria because like I wanted this set that felt nostalgic, felt old and cool, but then they just gave us like these weird kind of different mechanics,
kind of like tertiary reprints.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is so and so Lyra Dawnbringer instead of Rhea Dawnbringer.
Right? Exactly.
And you don't get any of the same effects.
Exactly. And so that could just be my perspective on the game is changing enough where. Because I mean, Dominaria is really widely received as a good limited format.
And maybe that also might be because Standard was so not fun for quite a while that it was just easy to ignore it.
Yeah, and that's where Standard's been.
Although I really like where Standard is right now.
Yeah. Now
I watched the PT and really enjoyed watching the Standard matches.
I didn't watch PT, but I watched the SCG and like the Standard. I didn't get off the Twitch.
Did you watch Cyrus just dominate his way to the top?
I didn't see any of it.
Cyrus CG won that event, and he's like, I had messaged him previously, and he's like, yeah, don't even come, I'm gonna win.
Yeah, I was
and he did. Called shot.
So
if Cyrus, if you ever watch this replay,
yeah. So I was desperately hoping for old border masterpieces.
Yeah.
When they said Dominaria, I was like, if they do like an old border, like beta style border foil bolt and like
that'd be great.
Just anything else, that thing would have been, no one could keep it in
But
stock.
they didn't need masterpieces to sell that set.
You know what I really like about UMA? Just kind of thinking about this in masterpieces. They're testing out box toppers, and they could do this now in standard product. Yeah. And it's where instead of doing the buy a box, the specialty buy a box promo, just a single card that's like that. You buy a box, and now you get a promo that's either one of the mythics from the set, so like the Planeswalkers or whatever, or that specialty
chase
buy
rare.
a box.
Just a different
chase rare.
Just a different.
Yeah.
This works much better because then there's nobody's buying this set going, hey, I got this invocation thing I can't play with, that I don't care about, that I can trade. Everything you're buying is what's in the set.
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense than the let's throw.
Well, then you don't have
cards.
like the Nexus of Fate problem where it only comes in a foil, or I mean, with the box toppers it would be only.
I get the legal reasons behind the reserve list discussion, but at some point, like, it's Hasbro. Like, they have a huge like lawyer team that's like, sure, send a civil suit. We'll see how far that goes.
Yeah. I hung out with Cyrus at Eternal Weekend, and he was super bummed about that loss. Like, it was super heartbreaking to watch it.
And like that ad nauseum, right? Like that was a 12 card ad nauseum. That like statistically, that number of cards is so.
It should have been.
It should. It's so such a low statistic of this should be like a success rate.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he large lawyer team. Yeah, no, Hasbro and Wizards have a massive lawyer team.
Yeah.
Despite the number of lawyers and legal counsel that exist in the Magic community, everyone knows that it's shaky ground to bring a promissory estoppel against them anyways. And like it would just basically be a protracted thing, and they just print against the reserve list anyways. And if there's any sort of damages or class action thing that happens, like it's going to be a couple dollars per player.
But where was the promissory estoppel case when they were just like giving out P9 and Zendikar packs?
That was different.
It wasn't reprinted.
It wasn't reprinted.
No.
They just had them.
They just,
because they have excess stock.
Yeah.
They do have excess stock of all the
So they were played. None of them were in mint condition.
Really?
And there was not very many of them either.
Yeah.
Like it was like one per.
Like who got mad about the foil thing about Mox Diamond? Like I didn't even hear about that until I started playing Legacy years later. Like I was like
there was
getting
not
Mox
really
Diamonds.
outrage.
And so like why did they delete the foil clause? Because like they could literally make a box of like the 10 revised duels all foil, and they could charge like $1,000 for it, and people would like sign me up like as quickly as they can get to the bank and back.
Oh, you mean like Ravnica Mythic Edition?
Yeah.
But just do foil duel lands.
Yeah, they could literally just do foil duels here, pay us $1,000 MSRP, and people would. Yeah.
I think it would. I think for the most part that would be an excellent way to do it.
Yeah.
And the secondary markup on all those cards would be insane. It's not going to change the price of the revised and older duels.
And especially if they do what they do now and print some limited amount of them.
Yeah.
If as long as it's not an unlimited printing.
But yeah, I would be on that website with 2 or 3 computers like hitting refresh and just like ordering as many as I could.
Just give me one at least, you know? And like that was where the reprint thing brought that up, because if you look at the price market of the original printings of like say Sneak Attack. So years ago when they first reprinted Sneak Attack for the first time, that card was super expensive and then it crashed. But the original,
you're right. It wouldn't change the price of Unlimited or anything.
The original Urza one is still higher.
Yeah.
And so the
it's like
collectors
50 versus 40 or whatever.
are still getting return on their collection.
Yeah.
And if anything, that's my opinion on like why Modern has grown so much, is it's become so sought after because a guy will, Modern Masters 1 or 2 came out and I went and I drafted it and I opened a Goyf. So now in their mind, they're one Goyf closer to playing any Goyf deck.
Yeah.
So and like that's a big step, because that was how I felt when I like got out of Cube and into Modern. Is I owned one of a lot of staples, and so instead of now I have to go pay $400 for a set of goifs, or 600 or 800 at the time.
Yeah.
It was I only need 3 goifs.
Right.
Yeah, so
Like,
that's
I had a
600
lot of
versus
people
800.
at Modern Masters in Vegas. They opened up a goif. And I'm like, hey, do you want to trade that? They're like, now I'm on the
gonna play
goif train.
Yeah.
Now I got to get
My foot
my
is in the
friends want
door.
me to get goifs. Yep.
Yeah.
So
And
they started playing Modern.
and that's why Modern's grown, is because they keep doing these sets that like people go and they draft it because it's I pay $40 and I can open a goif, I can open a bob, or I can open a foil goif.
Yeah.
And then now their foot's in the door.
The
playing
question
this
is, do they care? We care, obviously. We enjoy playing Legacy. We're a Legacy stream. But as long as they make Standard successful, like what you were saying now. I enjoy Standard. I enjoyed watching the Pro Tour, but last year you didn't, right?
I have literally not watched a Pro Tour in the last year and a half.
And Standard wasn't fun to play, let alone watch.
Yeah.
So if Standard is successful, and whatever Modern becomes or stays or whatever is successful, do they actually care about Legacy?
No, because their market is probably fractionally. How big is the Legacy market of like players who play Legacy who go buy product from Wizards? I don't. I draft maybe once every 6 months.
They'd buy it from them if they sold dual lands, right?
Yeah.
And so they could tap into that.
I buy a case of every new set that comes out, just kind of because I do, and then I open it.
Just a case.
But you like,
Just a case.
Well, I
think
open
you're
it,
an
and then I turn most of it over to the store, so we have singles. And
exactly.
stuff. So that is different from the average Legacy player. But like, I do still pay money to Wizards personally
You do.
for Standard product. I mean, there are always singles that I'm going to be picking up.
Yeah, team opens are like I think a really nice middle ground, and like I saw people in the SCG being like, stop doing team opens, they're like restrictive, and I'm like, if you only need one Legacy player, like you're not in touch with your community enough. Like you can find them. I mean, people go to the event and just like I'm pretty sure there's probably SCG open location X Discords that say, hey, I want to play Legacy all weekend. Who needs a Legacy player?
Yeah,
you know.
You probably would have done that if you knew, or if there were 2 other players going down there like, hey, we need a Legacy player.
Yeah,
and you're like, I will come down and play Legacy for you.
If my car would have been able to be full where the split was like not a big deal to me, like I would have been like okay with the split on like 4 people driving down or 5 people driving down, I would have been like, yeah, I'll sit at the registration table until someone's like, I need a Legacy. I'm like, yeah, I'll play.
I have a deck.
I have Legacy cards.
It is curious where they're at right now, where they've like messed up this Masters thing.
Yeah.
It could have worked. It could have been successful, but they just pushed it or didn't push it hard enough or whatever, however you want to say, made it just a little unvalue or a little too uniconic or whatever. And now this one's probably going to be fun again.
Yeah.
And the people that have money will be happy to do a draft or 2 for that price, and they'll buy a box or 2 because why not?
Or case.
Yeah.
Like us.
And it'll feel like Modern Masters
He's
1,
buying a case.
Right? It'll feel good. And then they'll be in this weird spot where it's like, hey, we did it. We did the Masters thing successfully, but we just said we're going to stop doing it for a while. We just overloaded with Masters. So now what do we do?
Well, I think that there's other reprint products that they're going to be coming out with. I think we might see like a cube style thing, or like something like the Mythic Edition, but as a cube, where you pay $500 and you get essentially like a Legacy cube or something.
And so then does it push into that, hey, let's actually open this up because here's these cards that we want to reprint and we can't. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. If they're going away from this Masters.
Do you think that's a market like that? Do you think they could say we're going to design a cube and we're going to sell it for MSRP for $500?
Absolutely.
And you either have to get 5 friends that want to pay $100 and sit down and own a cube conglomerately, or you have one guy that's like $500 pre-made cube, sign me up. $1,000 foil, like 50% foil, sign me up. $2,000 all foil, sign me up.
Yeah,
I'm sure people would do it. Sell.
Yeah, I know plenty of people that would do
the
that.
Masters set.
This box is MSRP $350, $500 for a finished cube.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
a lot of people would buy it, especially if they had like, here's
a gold border holiday cube would be sick. Yeah, I would definitely buy that every year.
Yeah, but a gold bordered holiday cube would have to be $100.
And it'd have to have something in it.
Yeah,
that makes
sure.
It, like the longevity of it, where it's not
well,
you're buying gold
you update it every year, so you can buy the newest cube every year. You can buy the booster pack or whatever that
Cards Against Humanity X pack. But it's
yeah,
Magic,
essentially.
You get this cube edition pack.
Yeah, and they design unique cards, so that's another way to do unsets. I think that would be an excellent way to do it.
Yeah, that would be. And like I think because I played a lot of cube, I have a friend who we only play cube and like limited like battle box. We made stacks and like that's just what we spend our time doing when we play Magic together. And like we look at a lot of uncards and say, how can this be a cube card? Like Blast from the Past is totally a good cube card.
Oh yeah.
Like Super Duper Death Ray, good cube card.
Yeah. Being able to put the uncards in with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd pay more than $100 for a gold bordered Hollow Cube. If it's a 360, I'd pay about $200. I think that would be my kind of like
with lands or without lands.
With basics, but it would
just
be like
the newest basics.
No. They commission a special set of basics for it
with tokens.
I'd be fine with that. I don't think it necessarily has to come with tokens, but
I know. I just like it's like one of my things.
It'd be cool
to have all the cubes, all the tokens for my cube.
I guess it depends on how big the cube is, Jorgensen, for that price, right?
360.
Yeah, if it's a 720, I mean, or you just buy two of them and make it a 720 cube, and, you know.
It also like opened the design space for everyone, right? Because I think that's why you want to make a cube is you start to think about cards in the design aspect, and you're like, how would I design like a limited format? And then that's what a cube is. Yeah. And so then by saying here's our baseline, here's a good like molding piece for designing a limited space.
It's a bigger ripoff than Lance Armstrong. I own lots of silver or gold border cards that I use for either pre-modern or for when I'm proxying up legacy and vintage decks for people and stuff like that. So,
and like I think vintage is like a thing where unless they just say, well, reserve list is gone. Here's Power 9. Here's everything.
Yeah.
Like
there's no way
proxy vintage is what the world's going to turn to, where you're like not even playing.
Like when Eternal Weekend only has 381 players. Yeah. And that's like worldwide vintage. Like there were people out from Europe and Asia Japan, and everything, right? Yeah,
everywhere.
And when it's only 381, like you see the squeeze of the format, right? Yeah. When the big event of the year. So,
well, and like
it's not tournament league, you're right, but there are ways to play proxy or play test or unsanctioned.
If it's a cube, then you can.
Yeah.
The rules of tournament legality are interesting too, because they used to be based on a Magic the Gathering back and then double face cards.
I'm gonna head out and see if we got the next one.
We gotta watch round 3 of Magic.
We're not just like talk about hypothetical situations of what
I love talking about
we could look at altars.
We could do a podcast. Let's look at altars. You were showing me some earlier.
I'll show you some later.
We're talking about depth and movement through pieces of art.
Yeah.
I didn't go to art school.
We were talking about it anyway. It's okay. All right, we've got. Who do we have?
Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art?
Neither. Art's its own thing.
You think so?
I don't know.
So art is separate.
I don't get into the
philosophical.
Nope. Sweet Clug altar. I didn't do any Clug altars.
I'll look at a Clug altar. Show me. Let's see it.
I haven't actually seen it. Well, there was a cool one the other day.
How much does he's like 6-month waiting list, crazy high, right?
Yeah, they're hundreds of dollars. I saw one that just went for $450 on eBay.
Just like a junk card, or
no? It was like a Sacred Foundry that was done out of Lord of the Rings.
That's cool.
It was sweet.
Like it's literally a tiny piece, like
masterpiece. Yeah, it's a piece of art.
Is it imitating life?
We've got Remy,
and he's playing it
with his multiple
main deck Tormod script.
We didn't.
Mana Surge still has turn 1 capabilities, does it? After the Jutaxian Pro ban?
Yeah.
Because like a turn 0 discard cycle, I guess.
Right. I'm gonna update these names. We've got Brian playing Red Black Reanimator, and on the right is Stockton, right? Playing Turbo Depths. So we're having this is a pretty small tournament today. I guess people are out family Thanksgiving and stuff, so we get to see a bunch of the same decks, but different matches.
This is a different metagame than what I would say our standard one is, though, right? And like I don't know if this is a call, because like I know I voiced that I think like locally we need more combo players, because a lot of our metagame, I don't know what it is about like our player base, but they just like grindy mid-range blue decks. And so like I've been working on building Turbo Depths. I've been working on building the blue black show and Omniscience deck.
Yeah.
Because I think there needs to be more combo decks in the metagame, but like clearly other people have already beat me to it. Like Brian's playing red black Reanimator. He's playing Turbo Depths. We have Manaless Dredge. Remy's playing a slow deck. Tim's playing a slow deck.
Looks like Brian's stuck on all of the 2-mana spells here.
Yeah, the alter thing about not being able to play in tournaments is hard, but like, if it makes you happy to play it when you're playing it once a week and then you only play a tournament once a year, then like maybe own doubles or borrow. Like, that's how I feel about some of my signed cards. Is there's a lot of stuff that I'll just have to like own 2 of, and if I go to a tournament, they tell me no because it has too much like alter over the text box. Like my Jitte's hard to read.
Here's an unmask from Brian, taking Scrying.
He has the depths, but no Thespian Station.
Or no Hexmage. And most of my altars, I purposely try to make them so they would pass into a tournament.
Yeah.
Whereas many altars are full art replacement and they're thick and good luck getting them.
And like stuff like what you have pulled up over here, like that's just changing like the movement of the piece of art to like add different texture to it, I think. And so it's a lot easier as long as they're different. Because like there was that one player who had issues because 2 of her cards looked too similar.
Yeah.
So they were like, you were incapable of.
Which is silly.
Yeah.
But, okay.
But that's also like, at what point do you say just cards look too similar? Like, I can read the title still. The basis of, you can read the name, you can read the title, the text box is unaltered.
And Dark Depths gets game 1. That was
fun.
fun.
Turn 3, right? He didn't have anything quicker.
Yep.
I've heard of signed cards being rejected, especially with some of the complexity that the artists are getting to, like with Shadow signatures and like Steve Argyle's Unicorn Blood signatures that Howard Lyon does. I don't know who originated it, but like that's drastically changing the way the card looks. So he has a graveyard active. Oh, he is playing the player package, what I was talking about earlier, where I didn't know if he was playing
the Hate Brown.
So where he can dread return a Golgari Grave Troll for lethal.
Remy over here has a Karn, a 4-mana Karn in play with the 3 dice on it, and a Chalice on 1, which stops. It stops. Cabal Therapy.
But the point of it is the sacrifice. From his hand can't get ripped apart, but
he's also got an Engineered Explosives in hand. So if there's a bunch of zombies on the way one day, they will die quickly.
Do you think there's design space in Magic where they can make a Thalia that's for creatures? So it's like something that like prohibits creatures and not spells.
Is it a creature itself, or is it it's like a Thorn of Amethyst, but like creatures get more expensive?
Like,
sure.
Because then you can play a deck like Remy's. Because I think he like is constantly dealing with the problem of not having cantrips to pick these stuff. Like he has Artificer's Intuition, but that's still a lot more than a Ponder.
I don't know that it would go in his deck necessarily. It's weird because for a while creatures were so secondary to spells, right? Spells were so much more powerful, and now they've made creatures relevant by making them spells. So can you then do something that taxes creatures and not spells? Sure. Because creatures now are overpowered over spells for the most part.
But also I feel like that creature where creatures are equally as powerful. It's not as much that creatures themselves, like hard casting a creature isn't as powerful. It's things that make it free or cheap. Like Gurmag Angler is good because it costs 1.
Yeah.
It can't be fatal pushed.
Right.
Arclight Phoenix and Hollowed One, they're free.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast the Burning Inquiry, which is like a Goblin Lore. Like whoever thought, like if you would have told speculators Goblin Lore is gonna be a $30 card, they would have laughed.
And that's a card that should be in this master set just to completely tank its price, right?
He plays Thoughtcast, but how much setup does it take? Like Legacy is this format that runs on efficiency, right?
Yeah. And that's been the problem with Tezzeret decks since day one, right? Is they are powerful, they're just slow to get there. They take that setup.
And like that's why Miracles is good at playing all these cantrips to get its very small profile powerful cards. Where Tezzeret is, I have all these powerful cards, but I don't have anything to churn through them other than like 2-mana enchantments that I have to activate.
Karn actually helps quite a bit, though.
Yeah, no, Karn is definitely.
He's quite interesting in his card advantage engine, right?
No, I've played against like Karns, and it's you definitely at first when you read it, you're like okay, and then they activate it once, and I think I'm okay. Like I can still deal with this board state. He's not that far ahead. He only got the card I didn't want him to have, but like 2 activations later, you're just like, man.
Yep. Oh, you get that one and that one. Fun.
Yeah. And then it's like now I'm making threats as well.
Yep. So a therapy gets countered by Chalice, and he gets to dread return.
What's his bridge count?
Just one bridge, but it's enough to make this work.
He's dread returning, and he gets to do the layer. Oh no, he balustrades 5, flips his whole deck. So now he gets to Cabal Therapy the Icarid for 4 zombies. Both Icarids for 4 zombies, and then you can. The way he combos out is he dread returns a Flare of the Haybound, and dread returns the Goldberry Green Troll, which is like
so he has
50s his opponent.
Yeah. He only has the 2 Narcomoebas. And then we're gonna change graveyard order here a little bit, but that's alright at this point.
He shouldn't. Definitely, since he's actually playing the more than one. No, Nether Shadow doesn't. Does it say you have to have a creature above it, or no creatures above it?
Oh yeah. He gets to put all of those cards in order. Order of his choice, though, right? And then they're permanently locked in that way.
Well, Balustrade Spy is not a dredge; it's reveal cards.
Oh, is it? Is it? So he shouldn't do it that way.
Yeah. He has the lethal, and Remy isn't like he doesn't have a.
It was just the trigger on the prized amalgam that he was pulling out from that stack.
Yeah.
So Manaless Dredge gets there by doing what it does.
Manaless turn 3, turn 2.
I have no idea. I did not count. We're gonna go back to Reanimator versus Turbo Depths for you guys at home to see, to partake, to watch, to enjoy.
The speed.
Look, that's an Entomb for a Magus of the Moon.
Keanu Reeves on a bus. This is happening.
Is it getting animated? An animated Magus of the Moon?
Is it getting exhumed?
Does it matter? I guess you'd rather. It doesn't matter, right? Abrupt Decay deals with it either way.
You're right. But the Turbo Depths decks only play like Forest, because all the lists I've seen.
Surgical Extraction on the
that's good.
On the card, on the thing. The Exhumed does nothing. We've got a Pithing Needle, an Ancient or Animate Dead, and a thing, a Blazing Archon.
Blazing Archon. That's a choice that's going to pay off for Brian here, right? Because he chose to. I'm gonna Blood Moon you out of the game, but he still has the option if he drives an enabler to get his creature into his graveyard this turn. I guess is when he needs it.
Yeah, now he does because of reward.
He can get the Archon into play.
Totsies.
Now he has to take. Now he doesn't.
I think the Turbo Depths did the turboing thing.
Yeah.
And won. I don't think there's a card that Brian can play at this point. Pithing Needle doesn't do anything. You get to play it and say, sure, I'll name one of these 2 things, but it's already too late.
Dark Ritual, Scrub, or Marsh Flats, Blazing Arcane does nothing, unfortunately.
I've got a 20/20. You have less than 20 life.
Brian is dead.
Yeah. Turbo Depths did it. Turbo-y.
Seems like that deck is doing good now.
Well, you got the perfect combination. When you get exactly Stage, Depths, and Urborg, you get to go out and Hexmage and Surgical. Neat. That sounds like I'm gonna win.
Yeah. And also, like, we were talking about the metagame earlier, where it was a lot of grindy blue decks, and I think Turbo Depths is a little bit his build where it is turbo. It's not like the mid-range depths where it's playing Bob and stuff and cutting the Spirit Guides.
Right.
His deck is a little bit less good against those.
We're going to transition right back to round 3 where Antiquities War.
The lore.
The War should have a pretty good matchup against this Manaless Dredge deck.
That was the point of Sagas, right? It's like to trend to physical representation of the lore of the game.
I think so. And to have that fun nostalgic, hey, I remember playing Armageddon. Here's an Armageddon. It just takes a little bit of time to create.
Yeah.
Or
too good.
Here's a thing that makes 01s that you sacrifice them to get a big thing, like back in Homelands and Lord of the Pit and stuff like that. They're all kind of fun. That way.
My nostalgia area is just not that. Mine's like Onslaught to me still.
Not quite that far.
Yeah, like goblins. Yeah. The whole cleric thing, like I literally remember just like looking on Gatherer to build like a cleric deck and like Sarah Avatar with the top end.
Making a Starlit Sanctum work.
Yeah, stuff like that.
The first Shibby. Way to go.
Oh.
He's got, apparently, one of us is doing good work. Maybe.
I'll take it as both of us.
Okay. Alright, this is game 2. And
triple Tormod's Crypt deck.
That conversation there may have been, wait a minute, you want to go first, so I'm going to draw first, because that's the same as me going first. There was some pointing back. He's just going to go first. No, he didn't go first. There we go. So, Matt, Remy had the choice. He chose to go second. Matt just passed the turn.
He has to force this, which is awkward. Now he's down.
He's got a force at least. He's got 2 forces.
How else does he deal with that? Like,
yeah, he's just got 2.
It does the same thing. It slows you down 1 extra turn instead of the turn you set up your dredging, and then you dredge enough where he activates, and now your dredgers are gone, so just will be 2 turns slower. Like Remy's deck isn't a fast deck. You just know.
This should be pretty clear, right? What else would you be wanting to counterspell?
Why bring the forces in if you're not going to force Tormod's Crypt?
Okay.
And now that Mox Opal is online.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he would force that. I wonder what his thought, like, what he thinks he needs to force, like surgical. Like these points is on a chalice, like he saw him chalice on one.
Yeah.
Now it's just gonna activate that Tormod's Crypt.
I guess.
Which it does the same thing.
The Force of Wills, by forcing those, pushes him way back, right?
But it's pretty close to the same amount of turns because he 1 turn for the discard, 1 turn to start dredging, and that should be the turn. By forcing, he's down 2 cards, so I guess it's 1 extra turn. But now he needs another.
What do you get with Unmoored Ego if you had a choice to get something?
Bridge.
Bridge from below.
Because if he doesn't have bridges, all he has to win the game is not because he does.
Yeah.
I guess he has prize on it too.
There's a few cards, yeah.
The true power of the deck is, well, I have a 3/1 haste that turns into like 6 power of zombies.
Now we see this fun setup from an Antiquities War deck, an Infinity deck, where all he's got is the ramp. He's got the artifacts, the soul lands, the thought casts, and nothing to do with them.
Cast 3 thought casts this game.
just 3.
Just 3, 1 blue, draw 2.
But he's got a stink meat up dredge here happening. So does Remy trigger his crypt now?
I think you let him dredge because you can respond to any Dark Meter trigger. Right? It's just like when I've like hastily done something because I know I can in my main phase instead of saying optimally what's the best line. And he doesn't have any lands, he's not tapping.
But now Matt has to draw back up to 8 and discard again.
There's the Artificer's Intuition.
Yeah, this thing is probably going to do the work.
Right? And so now he just has the infinite 12 months quickly. Obviously 3 at least.
So he's discarding this Mox Opal to go get Tormod's Crypt. There it is. Costs 1 or less. That's what the intuition does. It's an enchantment. It's a cool ad to this deck.
Yeah.
He didn't have that last time we played, I don't think.
I think I've seen it in the like the mono blue painter decks. And of the person who I was bad mouthing Plateau about earlier. That's why I don't want Plateaus. I'm gonna play painter, I'm gonna play mono blue, or I'm gonna play Caleb D's Duretti Spaghetti.
Nice.
That deck I like. That deck looks sweet. I'm not gonna play the Plateau versions.
They're too flat.
Yeah.
Too elevated and flat for you.
Too geographical location.
It's like a French word. Plateau. You can't have that. Here's a big ballista.
That one won't be countered by a chalice.
No. Not even a chalice from 2 matches ago. Hey, Dredge gets to discard. What is this thing, Dredge? How many? 4?
4.
Oh.
Thug is 4, Imp is 5, Troll is 6.
Yeah.
Shambling Shell is 3. Greater Moss Dog is 3, I think, as well.
Yay! I've got the answer, but when do I do it? When do I use it? Do I use it now or do I wait?
Ballista's the cool answer to Bridge, because if he ever gets too many bridges online and like doesn't have a Tormod's Crypt ready to activate, he's like, "Oh, I'll just kill my thing."
Yep. Discard another useless Mox Opal, because all of the Moxes are not legendary except the Opal one. No, I guess the new one is too. Amber and Opal are legendary?
Yeah.
That's silly. But it would be broken if it wasn't legendary, so I guess it's not silly.
I mean, it's already broken.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's already too powerful for, I think it's too powerful for modern, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's fast mana.
It's fast mana.
And so is Simian Spirit Guide, or not, whatever the red one is.
It's Simian.
Simian Spirit Guide.
I think if you're gonna say this is my ban list, stick to it.
Yep.
Consistently. I guess there's no good Mox Opal. I guess Casey has a Mox Opal.
Very much so. And Affinity robots.
What do you think his choice to Artificer's Intuition to get Chalice on 1? Why did you?
I don't know. It the only thing it does is protects his hand, I guess, right? But
so just giving another Tormod's Crypt. He does it again before he gets to dredge. It does have another bug.
So you can do this at least one more time.
He's on the road, like on what, 3-turn clock? Because it'd be a 5.
Yeah, I don't know what the Chalice on 1 does. Does it achieve anything? Wouldn't it have just been better to tick up Ballista?
Yeah, he did that turn. He had enough mana to do both because of the Ancient Tomb. But I think just having keep getting Tormod's Crypt. So if you have other prison artifact pieces, maybe you don't. I guess. Maybe doesn't have any Graph Digger's Cage type cards.
3 Tormod's Crypt is quite a lot.
High. Especially when you're playing a card like Artificer's Intuition.
Yep.
But it's also 0, which turns on your Mox Opal, so you can turn on the artifact land. See that that's.
So does that work? Does it go to his hand?
What?
Does Artificer's?
Yeah, it goes to his hand.
What's in his hand? Okay.
He didn't go activate again with that Belfast trick, so I'm assuming that's his final Tormod's Crypt.
Yeah, I think that he's just had 3. Yeah.
Troll, Phantasmagorian, depending on what's in his hand. Doesn't matter, I guess. Just anything to keep going.
Alright, so this is an end of turn Street Wraith. It's going to be dredged.
Because Phantasmagorian is like an upkeep thing that you have to pay, right?
Yep.
Well, there's a dredge 5. There's a chance that he can somehow pull this out.
With 1 bridge.
Because now he gets to
discard multiple cards.
Get the Nether Shadow back.
And
he has a troll and a player in his hand. He has to get that player in the yard if he doesn't want to try to do a haste kill. With the Flanking Zealot.
Okay, so now it's Matt's turn. He goes to draw, and he's going to dredge. No, upkeep.
What is Nether Shadow's wording again?
As long as there's 1 black creature above it? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
3 or more creatures above it. That's what it is, of course. So that one came back because there was another shadow, a flare, and a troll above it.
Yeah.
And then troll got.
The stink we do.
The troll got dredged. That was the card that.
And that works the same way as Grave Troll, how it counts itself when you reanimate it or dread return it. So if you dread return a Grave Troll, it sees itself in the graveyard. No, it's just his upkeep instead of his troll.
Yeah. So
he has no bridges to get exiled. Oh, he has
just
one bridge.
One bridge. So Remy could shoot his Strix and the bridge goes away.
Yeah.
Or he could just put 2 counters on and kill him. That would work too. That might be more efficient.
My absurdly powerful Triskelion card.
Yeah.
Deal 7 damage to you.
I have these dice and I'm gonna put them at your head.
It'll move them off the card.
Antiquities War gets game 2 because I've got 3 Tormund scripts and you only have 1 potion. That was fun, right? Everybody likes watching Manaless Dredge.
3
right.
thought casts. Cast Artificer's Intuition. Tormund script.
Yeah.
Can beat Manaless Dredge.
It worked. It got there. Alright, chat, you want to see altars real quick while we're between rounds?
While we're shuffling.
While we're between this game. I haven't done any for a while, but I've just been doing some more like what I've done before. Let's see who they are.
The tried and true.
Yeah!
Recognizable.
These arcane circles that
belt.
I guess I've been known to do now.
Yeah.
So here's some brainstorm. I've done this exact same pattern on a brainstorm, but this time it's in pink, pulled from the color pulled from the actual brainstorm, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's something different. I tried filtering more of this color and blending some of the darkers into it, and I just didn't really like it.
You didn't just like the brightness of the pink.
Yeah.
It's with the way the circles are coming out from the center of the card, where it's the most pink.
I think that's what it was. Some fun, silly lightning bolts. These are 4th edition. And these are actually available for sale. I still have them at the moment. Let's see. Let's go.
Still
photos.
owned.
I just haven't tried to sell them.
No.
Here's some Hymn to Torax I did. This is kind of a cool shade of light purple pulled from the cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cool effect for a black card, I think.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 I've done most recently.
And it's the superior hymn art, in my opinion.
Ooh, the superior one. And if you guys want, I've done quite a few other cards you can check out if you haven't for some reason. A lot of people in chat, I'm sure, are sick of me talking about them.
You started to do the placeholder cards?
Yeah, I just did this one for somebody here.
Oh, I see.
So this is my own. It's just taken straight off of Relentless.
Yeah.
But it's me freehand drawing it.
Oh, nice.
On it. Just kind of. It turned out pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then he wanted some green.
Mm-hmm.
I actually liked the card better without the green. But
yeah, I like
it. Looked really cool and clean and simple.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to game 3.
I thought they just like, okay, we'll call this one.
Here we are. Game 3. We saw some altars. We did it.
We looked at the altars.
It was quick and dirty. And over. Now we're done with it.
That's really not an accurate description of your altar style.
No.
Like, it's very precise.
Very much.
Airbrushing, fine lines.
I want to do more like this one because I think it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah. You know, because with the foil background, it almost makes that white glow.
Yeah. Just need to acquire some foils to do it on.
I wonder where you could get those.
Like this thing turned out, I think, pretty cool. Yeah. This is a card most people aren't interested in.
Oh, you've activated my check card. Judge is picking up, or not Judge, sorry. Mill is picking up popularity.
Is it?
Yeah.
Matt is going to mulligan? Just what Manaless Dredge wants to do.
Can you? I always thought you just.
If you
don't. I mean, if you don't have a Dredger, but like you're still a turn slower by mulliganing, right? Is that double Tormod script in hand? And he's like, would you like to scratch?
Do you want to go down to 5 cards? Because that sounds fun to me.
Like, let me just make your deck even worse. Mulligan more.
A Delver placeholder and a search would be sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had weird Delver. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He puts all 3 Tormund scripts out.
I just heard Matt go, oh.
Okay.
I've always had different Delver placeholders. It's definitely nice to like have something a little bit unique other than like the all black and just like Delver showing or just a dot.
I think this is going to be a challenge for Matt this game.
So he's a turn slow from the moment. So he has to discard Dredger. Get Cryptid. Discard Dredger. Get Cryptid. Discard Dredger. Get. He has a bunch in his hand, doesn't he? I saw at least a Grave Troll. How's the Chancellor of the Annex? He has 2 Grave Trolls. That sucks that those are the ones I get discarded. He has some Phantasmagorians though. I don't know, they're bridges. So his hand is Phantasmagorian, Bridge from Below, Grave Troll.
Ooh, Alter Ego could take this Grave Troll here.
Does he have the Unmoored Ego?
Yeah, whatever the thing is. Unmoored.
Or is that a...
I think it's an Unmoored Ego.
Yeah, and then a Tethered Agent of Bull-Loss.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
Because he has another troll in hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would slaughter him.
He would also get to replace it, though.
Oh, yeah, he gets to draw a couple cards, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, what do you name with this Unmoored Ego?
Well, I think even in this game state, you name Troll, right? Because you have the triple crypt, so I guess you don't have to.
So you can name bridges and just take them all.
Yeah.
And if you hit one in hand, great.
Yeah. Yep, he named bridge.
Oh, you hit 2 in hand, and you can go search for 2 more, and then Matt would get to draw 4 cards.
Or he gets to draw 2, right? But he can dredge 1 and make him
Ooh,
respond.
that's kind of interesting. No, you draw for each card exiled, right?
Or is it each card in hand, I think?
Choose a card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles their library, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. That little extra little bit of text on the end that I never actually wanted to read. So he'll draw 2 cards.
Does he see the dredge? Do you think he does it? And then does Remy? Yeah, obviously, Remy has all the crypts in the world.
I think so.
It's a replacement. And that's probably why he tanked on it, right? He's like, do I cast this here?
Well, he can't crypt now that he started with this ego.
Oh, so he has to let at least the first dredge resolve.
Yeah.
I guess you almost don't dredge because it doesn't. It's your opponent's main phase. And like you don't have any instance, right? You don't have any reward for it.
So here's dredge 1.
I guess you get a buyback your troll, which is pretty good. You can respond to the Narcomoeba trigger.
And he has 1 more draw.
And you hit attack. So you could get another Narcomoeba, or you could try to hit the other trigger.
Can he do this? He can't do this, right?
The Narcomoeba trigger is going on the stack, so there's an opportunity to pass priority back and forth.
Doesn't he have to finish drawing cards off the ego first?
You're probably right. Because they can't interrupt the resolution of the spell.
I don't know if he did that wrong or not. I'm not 100% sure.
I think he did, because you can't... Yeah, he needs to draw the other. When he hasn't even drawn the other card.
You want to stop him?
Yeah.
You want to ask him if he drew a card somehow? Zach's going to let him know what he did, and we'll see what they figure out there. Or maybe he was dredging for turn, just on his normal draw. So he actually just missed the draw 2 cards. So he's got to do that. Yeah, he drew for turn, not for ego. He didn't realize that he had to draw. And so that's on both of them there. Like, that's Remy's card. He needed to notify Matt that he was supposed to draw 2 cards there. They would both get something. If this was competitive play. That's my very technical term for it, because I'm a level not anything judge. Somebody in chat knows better than me how that actually gets penalized. A game rules violation, yeah, there you go. So what's the resolution there? Does he draw 2 cards? Or do we back up? Since we could back up at this point. I think he just draws 2 cards. You're just having him draw 2 cards here.
Yeah, he just will draw 2 because they didn't realize they forgot the wording on Unmoored Ego.
Which is on both of them.
Yeah. And so that's the easiest fix, because that that really would have gone about the same off the dredging from the Unmoored Ego.
I think so. Yeah.
And I mean, how is he gonna beat double crypt?
Yeah, and then go to discard.
GRV. Go get the match slip for us, Paul.
Oh, I was saying that would be a violation for both, but I couldn't think of the term.
So. Even then, we still could go get the match slip. It's a serious event. Remember the cell phone service was so bad because we had such a high turnout?
Yeah. There's like, there's a bunch of people actually in the room.
Yeah.
There's quite a few. There's a cube that's going on and something else.
Commander
players playing things.
Oh, there's an antiquity.
Hey, I named the deck correctly. I wondered if for some reason it wasn't in here, but
goes like full circle.
He just puts it on the bottom. This card.
I can't even take it as a Tezzeret activation.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, and I don't think we really need it. Because you really want to attack with his 2-month scripts. Not only can I beat you with activating them, I can beat you.
Which is the correct way. We've seen Remy win with Chalice of the Voids a few times, right?
Yeah.
Where you attack with a 5/5 Chalice.
What's your favorite equal number, power, and toughness?
Ooh. I don't know if I have one.
It's not like it's like a random thought you don't think.
So when I first started playing Magic for a good many months, it was back 4th edition. Mm-hmm. Or just before, just after, somewhere in there. And so my friends taught me to play Magic with Mohammadi Djinns. They're 5/6 flyers, right? Or however you say the Djinn. So we'd play with clones, Vesuvian doppelgangers, and Djinns. And so it was whoever had more 5/6 flyers.
You double block.
Pretty much. So it was just this weird like buildup of huge flying armies, and then as soon as somebody finally had 4 extras, they could swing for lethal.
Yeah.
And the kosher thing to do was to not attack at all.
Who was the first player to discover Boomerang?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. They were not good decks, but so 5/6 flying is like Magic to me, right?
Yeah. No, I get that.
And then for a little while, 4/5 Djinns, the Urnham Djinn from Arabian Nights. When it was like, oh look, I can build a more competitive deck by lowering my mana curve down.
Which is interesting because nowadays in like if you like theory of Magic deck construction, the bigger deck is normally wins, right?
Oh yeah,
because low to the ground aggressive decks lose to mid range, and mid range loses to control.
Yeah, and you want some big heavy top end because the payoff is so good.
Yeah, because like me paying 8 mana for my 10/10 is better than your opponent who is still drawing like 1 mana on it, 1/1s and stuff like that.
The Mirage era Jungle Troll Jund deck was boss. Yeah, the Mirage era, some of that stuff was, you got into like the squandering resources. Squandered resources, is that what it was? Or the, what's the card? That's not it.
There's
Cross Bloom deck is what I'm thinking of. Prosperity.
Yeah. I always like the idea of like a league where you just build old standard decks. Obviously, like the Twiddle Gilded Lotus deck would be broken, probably not allowed to exist. But and like Circular Logic Psychotog would be really upheaval would be super good. But like I still think it'd be fun. But, like
Remy's over here with all these things, and one of them's another Tormund script, and
a 5/5 land.
Matt has a 1/1.
He's like a Vault of Whispers as a 5/5 better than Dryad Arbor.
But it's an uncommon that was upshifted to rare, so his Narcomoeba is gaining in value as we speak. It's a Chalice of the Void with 1 counter on it that now is a 5/5.
We need to get a table judge that can passive aggressively reach over and change the dice from a white one to a black one.
We need to figure out a way for it to gain a different type of counter too.
Well, doesn't Travis have access to a 3D printer? You can print the signs that are the new representations on MTGO. Because they have like an ice counter and a charge counter. It's like a
just all of, there's like 30 of them.
Yeah.
But just print them all and have them in a basket right there.
Yeah.
That's smart. Hey, it's a glare card. We're gonna play some glare.
The glare caster.
Yep. We got some glare going on. For our glare stream. It's
Stream
not.
glare.
It's not dawn glare because it's nighttime here, so it's more
not
like.
invoked at all.
Hey, I'm gonna pick up these cards because
I can't beat triple Tormod's Crypts.
We're a jerk.
And he's like, look at my dark Tormod's Crypts.
Yep. Very dark.
The dark. My apologies. The dark Tormod's
Yeah.
Crypts.
Yep. I have these other cards that I would have been able to play and you would have still lost. Antiquities War 1.
On the back of.
And I think that's it. I think we're just going to do 3 rounds today, guys. Sometimes we get to do 4, but I think we don't have enough players for it today.
8-man turnout.
Yep.
2 days away from Thanksgiving. It's the eve of Thanksgiving.
Oh. So you don't have to be thankful today.
No.
You can be a spoiled jerk.
You can be as grinchy as you like.
Or you can not eat, since you're going to eat a lot later.
Yeah, you can fast.
Uh-huh.
Is Remy following the vintage rules of only having 1 Lodestone Golem in his deck? It's restricted.
I have absolutely no idea.
It's restricted, isn't it?
But it's not here.
Yeah, but it only showed 1.
Yeah.
So here's my Lodestone Golem. That's restricted vintage.
Because it's not enough to Tormund's Crypt you, Ensnaring Bridge you, and Chalice of the Void you. I also want to Lodestone Golem you.
Yeah.
And Unmoored Ego you.
More ego you. That was really good. Like, I mean, I remember seeing people talk about that when that card was spoiled, saying, "Is this card going to be legacy playable?"
Right.
Like, it pitches the forest. It's not lost legacy, so you can name artifacts. Like people
You can
said
choose
no.
basic lands.
Yeah, and like, it was good.
Yeah.
Is slower
Taking like a Dark Depths would be pretty strong against
then like how are they gonna
certain
win?
decks. Yeah, take it from lands, take it from Turbo Depths.
Well, like Surgical's being played enough where everyone's like, well, I get the Wasteland Surgical combo, and like that's like you can Surgical something else, and then Unmoored Ego whatever's left. If you're playing a deck that you plan on giving 3 mana consistently,
They are below 50 cents right now.
speculate away.
Oh, you could buy them. You could take your face off and watch Nicolas Cage movies.
Does that look familiar? That looks like it looks almost like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Ooh, it kind of does.
And that would make sense
Baga.
if you could take the face off.
Yeah. Which is exactly where I thought we would end this Tuesday Night Legacy stream. Talking about Nicolas Cage and Mrs. Doubtfire. Yep.
What's the best Nicolas Cage movie? Con Air.
I actually quite liked Face Off.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did John Travolta and Nicolas Cage?
Oh, okay.
That one's kind of fun. He goes kind of crazy in it, and he does a good job of it.
Is this like young Travolta Cage? Is this recent?
No, it's pretty old.
Oh, that's awesome. But when they were young.
Yeah, definitely younger. They switch. He has to. He's like an FBI agent. He has to like take his face off to and surgically switch faces with the crime kingpin. And so then the bad guy wakes up and switches his face back. So they switch roles.
Cage.
Yeah, and they get to, but they have to play each other's personalities, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
To see the two of them do it. Chat, go watch Face Off. It's great fun.
Face Off.
Yeah. He could eat a peach. That's the thing.
References.
I remember the line. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. And I have no idea if there'll be a Friday stream or not. I have no idea. No
or
clue.
if it'll be Modern or Legacy or
No idea.
Popper.
Yep. But we'll probably be back here. One of us, maybe next Tuesday.
Yeah.
For some more Legacy for you.
And it won't be the eve of
No, hopefully not.
Maybe people will be like, I just ate a bunch and I need to go play some Magic and get that turkey out of my system.
Get my exercise for the day. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.